Open the free iHeartRadio app, search Freeform Radio, and listen now, commercial-free. Free never sounded so good.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls Studio.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Sportsocracy is heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. We are seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. It's a brand new week, and March Madness is upon us. Got all the brackets, which means all the ways that you can make money with the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
You will have a link to our DraftKings contest. It's $5 entry, $5 or 5 max entries per. Winner take all, because, well, I live by the Ricky Bobby philosophy of if you ain't first, you're last. And so literally in this contest, if you ain't first, you might as well have been last.
Yes, winner take all as any good pool should be, and we're doing it all legal with the DraftKings Sportsbook app now in the state of North Carolina.
Doesn't that feel good that you don't have to set your bracket up behind a building? It has no windows with some sketchy feller named Russell.
How did you run office pools before this? Your workplaces are weird.
Listen here, feller. I was in that. Nope, I can't say that. I think that's still. I don't think the statute of limitations has run out on that yet. So
crimes. Don't do crimes.
Keep my mouth shut.
We live by the sincere philosophy of do not do crimes. And that means do not admit to doing crimes.
I didn't do well, okay, I might have done crimes, but they shouldn't have been crimes. Okay?
I don't think that counts.
There are certain things, like killing people, okay? Don't kill people. I get it. Laying a 6-leg heater on NC State, that should have never been illegal. Let's go.
Congratulations to the NC State Wolfpack for pulling off the upset of all upsets. No one would have ever imagined that the Wolfpack would come in and win the ACC tournament the way that they did. 5 games in 5 days.
Well,
it's never been done before.
I didn't see that coming, but if you're about to say nobody could have seen them winning on Saturday, my DraftKings Sportsbook account would tell you different. Because Jeremy got himself a little birthday present.
Good for you. I did not, obviously. And therefore, State always has been and forever will be dead to me. Congratulate, good job on winning a championship for the first time in 45 years. That's awesome.
I have to ask a question because I've talked to a bunch of Carolina fans, and we'll get into football because that's what we do, but I have to ask this question.
Yep.
You seem to be a Carolina guy that actually hates NC State to the same level you hate Duke.
Yeah, no, not really. It's just a different level of hatred. Like the hatred is probably similar, but here's the thing. State always thinks there's something, and they haven't been in my lifetime. So, congratulations, you won a couple of national championships. One of them was the year I was 1. That was 39 years ago. And continuing to act like they belong in the conversation with the other two. It's just, that's why I don't have a problem with Wake Forest fans, because they know their place.
Well, except for that one guy. He's a jackal. That feller is a jackal.
They know their place. They know that they can't compete on any level. NC State tries to play like they can. And you got,
I don't know. I don't
think you can.
You're the only real Carolina fan, and I use that very liberally because you do pull for Georgia in football, which means you're not a real Carolina fan.
Uh-huh.
You're one of those guys that, I pull for Georgia football, I pull for Carolina basketball, whoever's good in baseball, I'll probably pull for them.
I wouldn't. You couldn't catch me watching college baseball.
I don't believe you. Especially now that betting is legal, I can see you having a 7-legger on UNCA, Western Carolina, Charleston Southern. I can see that happen. I don't have a disdain for NC State. Frankly, I watched it. I wagered it. I was happy. Our buddy Patrick Holt was there. And for me, I just looked at it and went, this doesn't hurt Carolina in any way.
Mm-mm.
You were not helping yourself with a win. You were not hurting yourself with a loss. So you get another North Carolina team in the tournament. I don't really see a reason to be upset about that.
No. It's a disappointment that you lost. Like,
we didn't get to raise the trophy.
You're right.
Well, Florida State once raised a trophy where no one played. They all showed up. Nobody played.
Nobody's going to feel sorry for the Tar Heels, and nobody should. Congratulations, Wolfpack Nation, on your big win. That 11 seed in the tournament. The best part of this whole thing is that Kevin Keats gets to stick around. Like, good job. Good job.
They ain't going to save him for that long.
You get another one. You get one more year at least.
He wins a game in the tournament, which I don't think is that out of the realm of possibility.
No, it's not. They're hot, and they're playing really, really well.
And DJ
I
Burns
do like
is the
that
biggest
team.
person on the planet.
DJ Burns, I've been super surprised at DJ Burns, just his abilities on the floor and to be able to play in Power 5 basketball the way he has after moving over from Winthrop.
You know what I was super surprised
like the
about?
team.
When they showed how DJ Burns is 6'9" and weighs 285 pounds. Yesterday I stepped on a scale and I went, I weigh more than DJ Burns, and that makes me really sad. And I eat salads now.
I've already scoped out Flostradamus's bracket picks. Just I'm gonna blow the whistle on you here. He's got it going full chalk. I mean, not full chalk, but as far as the Final Four goes, he's got all the 1 seeds: UConn, Houston, Purdue, North Carolina, all moving on to the Final Four.
Yeah, I don't really see a way that they don't. Everybody's talking about there's gonna be so many upsets. Okay, you'll have the 12-5, you'll have the 13-4. But in terms of when we get to 3 weeks from now, yeah, you know who you're going to have? UConn, Carolina. Wouldn't be shocked if you had Purdue.
I mean, looking at the bracket of, just the Carolina draw in the bracket, they get Alabama and Arizona. Those are the only 2 teams in that bracket that I think can beat them.
Well, you knew they were getting Arizona, okay? Because
we
had
Caleb
to
Love.
get R.J. Davis, Caleb Love.
Heck yeah.
Battle for that girl. I don't know her name. I don't care.
Whoever she was, she knows what's on the line.
Battle for Denise. That's about as riveting as you can get March Madness. But we are a football program, and we had footballing things that happened, and I want you to tell the story that we didn't get the chance to tell about that quarterback that I don't like and I've never liked. Now he's a backup behind another quarterback that I don't like.
Oh, are you talking about Justin Fields? The Pittsburgh Steelers acquiring Justin Fields in a trade with the Chicago Bears. Now it's Russ Wilson, Justin Fields.
You could have a quarterback room with my 2 ex-wives, and I'm not sure I would dislike it any more than I dislike that quarterback room. I saw that trade come down, and I had an immediate response, and I'll bet you can guess what it was. He got a 6. A 6?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I told you that the Zach Wilson, Justin Fields trades were not going to look that different. I did not realize that when they said that, I thought maybe Zach was worth just a smidge more than I thought. Nope. Justin was actually worth less than I thought.
So the Steelers sending a 6th-round pick that could become a 4th-round pick.
If he plays 51% of snaps.
Yes.
Short of Russell Wilson getting hurt, there's no shot of that.
Agreed.
None.
Agreed. This was just get him out of my building. I mean, the Chicago Bears played this fun little game of trying to, play the shell game, the building the facade around Justin Fields. That maybe someone around the league would give them something of value for him. And it was quite obvious as the days went by. Yeah, as the days went by and the deals ticked off of all the other quarterback movement, there were no takers for Justin Fields. And they went, well, here's the thing. You're either going to keep him on your roster and draft Caleb Williams, and it's going to be the biggest dumpster fire we've ever seen, or you're going to give him to us for nothing.
That's where they overplayed the hand. Because we all knew there was no shot of Justin Fields staying on that roster with Caleb Williams, because you can't have 2 guys like that in the same locker room.
No.
You can't have a guy that part of the fan base still thinks is elite. By the way, if you still think Justin Fields is elite or has high upside, I'm going to need you to defend that. And when I laugh at you, I need you to not get angry. That the NFL on the whole could have had him for the low price of a 5th-round pick, and every team went, I'm good.
Yep.
You said the shell game. All right, the Bears will play the shell game. I think every team in the NFL has been playing the shell game this entire offseason. But my shell game and yours is not the same.
Okay.
You ever heard of a game called Rochambeau that we as stupid boys used to play when we were a kid? Of I'm going to kick you in the nethers, and then you kick me in the nethers, and then one of us is going to fall down, and we're both going to hurt, but whoever's standing up is going to laugh at the other one. We're kind of in the same ballpark there, except I created a new game called Rochambeau, which is I'm going to poop in your yard, and then you come poop in my yard, and we'll see who's unhappier at the end of the day. Because that's what all of you just did. Kenny Pickett, who apparently was so butthurt that Russell Wilson was acquired by the Steelers, that he cancels a workout with the receivers because I should be the unquestioned starter. I swear to you, I'd have cut you right there. I'm good. There is nothing you could say to me where I would go, okay, I'm going to recover from that. There are certain things that people can say that I just immediately go, oh, you're a crazy person. One of them is I get all of my news from Facebook. Oh, you're probably not super, super bright. I listen to the political ramblings of Alex Jones. I don't really have much more for you after you said that to me. Kenny Pickett looking at any human. I don't care if there's a camera on him. I don't care if he was talking to his dog and one of the government surveillance birds heard it. I don't care. The fact he could, out of his mouth hole, go, I deserve to be the franchise quarterback, and mean it, is the most clueless, millennial, entitled crap I have ever heard in my life. You have been so bad that you actually exceeded my expectations for how bad you could be, and I called you for an entire draft season. Mm-hmm. And you actually think that this was some shade thrown at you. No, this is how unbelievably god-awful you are. Because I want you to think about what I'm getting ready to say here. Trey Lance never really got a shot. And I'm looking at the quarterbacks out of that Justin Fields class. Fields got 3 years and was awful for the vast majority of it. Zach Wilson got 2 full years and then was thrust into a third, and they did not feel the urge to make another move. You got 2. And they looked at Russell Wilson and Justin Fields and went, I'd rather do that. With no draft capital inlay whatsoever. We didn't draft you. We're not beholden to you at all. I will take your nightmare. Russell Wilson was a nightmare in Denver. Justin Fields was a nightmare in Chicago. We'll take your nightmares over what we drafted. What we drafted. This is not a new GM. This is not a new head coach. We will take their poo pile over you. And you still have this air of, oh, I'm a franchise quarterback. The Philadelphia Eagles put you on their roster in the hopes that you never throw a pass. Ever. You were better than Tanner McKee. That's their faith in you. And I have it on good authority, there weren't really other teams interested. There were a couple teams that went, if you cut him, we will pursue signing him. Mm-hmm. But in terms of anybody giving more than what the Eagles did, wasn't out there.
I guess there's different ways that you could look at a response like that. To me, I guess what he was going for, this is just giving him the benefit of the doubt of, I have the confidence, right? I'm putting myself out there that I have the confidence to be a starter in this league, and people are going to see that and go, oh, this kid's got a drive to compete and win and blah. That's not how that comes out. Yeah, that's not how that comes out to most of us. I'm just trying to think of where your mind could possibly be. As a young guy in this league, I mean, I get he's older than most second-year players, third-year players, whatever. But most young players you think would be a little bit more amenable, I guess, of just, I'm here to learn. I'm here to do the thing. I'm here to do whatever you want me to and be the guy. If you want me to be the starter, I'll be the starter. You know, most people are just looking for an opportunity. Kenny Pickett, on the other hand, apparently just firmly believes in his own BS.
Well, I mean, he
should run for president.
He is of the generation that thinks that they were entitled to $25 an hour to flip a cheeseburger. So I'd be lying if I said I was shocked, because I'm not.
Yeah. I get believing in yourself, but at some point, that outward appearance, that what you project, can hurt you. If you're overconfident and you suck at your job, who the hell wants to hire you? It's that line that you always use. I wish that I could buy you for what you're worth and sell you for what you think you're worth.
Oh, God, there are so many people that way, and so many of them have addresses that end in 28806 or 28804 or 28 something in Asheville.
And Kenny Pickett falls right into that. He falls right into that. And Gambit fan says, you know, like, or excuse me, I thought he was talking about Kenny Pickett here. I mean, just how bad Kenny Pickett has been.
Well, I'm going to read. Gambit fan did have a comment that I
about Fields. Right,
yeah. Say, heard it was a case he was told he and Russ would compete for the job, then was told in no uncertain terms that he was the backup. I can understand being mad at that, like, dude, bosses lied to you. Here's the thing. I don't understand being mad at it, because I do not physically understand how you look at a team that just went to the playoffs with a third-string backup who the greatest thing he's done in his entire career was be a nail for the hammer of Myles Garrett. That's all you've ever done in your life, and that guy was better than you. They used a first-round pick on you. You do not get the air of invincibility. You do not get to be cocky, because you have been that same word if you took a letter off of it. Because that you have been bad. B-A-D-D, bad. But I want to pull this, I want to extrapolate this out a little further. We have talked about how the NFL and all these other, how college football and the NFL are kind of melding together. Mm-hmm. And now you're getting these ready-made prospects because they're staying in school longer and got NIL, and all these things are, facts don't care about your feelings, and that is not serving to be true. And I did the homework on it, and I'm going to tell it to you right after we tell you some commercials.
That's right.
And pay some bills.
Not your best segue, but a fine attempt. It is a Monday.
I'm tired.
Yeah, it's a Monday. We're getting into it. It's been a big birthday weekend for Jeremy.
It was a big
happy birthday
weekend.
again. It was a big weekend for me, as I was busy all weekend with a bachelor party on Saturday and went to the race yesterday. It was a chock-full weekend. We're all a little tired, but we continue. Here in the Sportsocracy, coming up next on ESPN Asheville.
This is the time of year to enjoy life. Stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want to do this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you, so you can walk and run and climb stairs and play golf and move again pain-free. No pain pills, no risky surgery. This is an all-natural solution. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients who have reclaimed their mobility. Take action now and live your best life this spring and summer. It's a great use of your tax refund check, by the way. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Phone 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville.
Psst. Hey, I have a secret. I use Secret Whole Body Deodorant because more than just my armpits stink.
Oh, can I use it where my bra rubs under my...
Oh, yeah.
And what about down there? You know, my...
Totally. 4 out of 5 gynecologists would recommend it. So I tried it, and now I get 72 hours of freshness from my pits to my...
Ooh, I love that it's a spray.
Me too. And it comes in sticks and creams too. Go get your Secret Whole Body Deodorant.
NFL Total Access, the podcast, is getting you ready for the NFL Draft. I'm your host, Andrew Levy, and I'll be delivering 2 shows a week to make sure you're caught up on the latest NFL news, every free agency move, and how it changes the draft needs of your NFL team. Draft experts, talent scouts, mock drafts, and shock drafts too. NFL Total Access, the podcast, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Presented by T-Mobile for Business. Now is the time for 5G Business.
In a developing story, we've learned that after decades of service to boys and girls everywhere, the Easter Bunny has stepped down. He has identified his replacement as a local rabbit who has been seen frequenting area Ingalls markets in recent days. He has been stocking up on Ingalls Easter candy, holiday hams, farm fresh eggs, and Easter lilies and balloons. And they also say that Easter magic indeed starts at Ingalls.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Let's open up the whole can and kick ass and kill them all. Let the paramedics sort them out.
It is ESPN Asheville, and we are back in the Ingalls studio. Justin Fields, Kenny Pickett, Russell Wilson. It is the quarterback menage a trois that we never thought that we would be dissecting here in the Sportsocracy, but here we are. All these guys changing teams over the offseason, and right before we went to break there, Jeremy, you were getting ready to impart upon us some wonderful bit of wisdom about what quarterbacks and players staying longer in college. It's not really paying off.
So we've really had 3 discernible years of the NIL thing, right?
Yeah.
Let me read off the list of quarterbacks that have been selected with any form of that could be a guy or a developmental guy, and I want you to tell me how many of these teams feel hunky-dunky about what they've done. Okay?
Okay.
Bryce Young.
Hunky-dunky?
I don't think you feel hunky-dunky.
Not necessarily.
C.J. Stroud.
Yes.
Feel hunky-dunky. Anthony Richardson.
Meh.
Will Levis.
Meh.
Hendon Hooker.
Nope.
Jake Hayner.
Nope.
Stetson Bennett.
Nope.
Aiden O'Connell.
Nah.
Kenny Pickett. Mm-mm. Not even on the team that drafted him. Mm-mm. Desmond Ridder. Mm-mm. Same thing. Malik Willis. Matt Corral. Bailey Zapp. Sam Howell. Trevor Lawrence. Zach Wilson. Trey Lance. Justin Fields. Mac Jones. Kyle Trask. Kellen Mond. Davis Mills. The only name I left off of that was Brock Purdy. I could make the argument that there have been 2 good quarterbacks drafted, like legit good quarterbacks, drafted in the last 3 years, and one of them is Brock freaking Purdy.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure how good Trevor Lawrence actually is. I know how good he is by comparison to what else you could have drafted. And he's fine. I just feel like you're having to prop him up a lot. And it doesn't really seem to be yielding results. I'm not saying he's a bum. I'm not saying he's Kenny Pickett or anything like that. But even, all right, let's say I throw him in there. There are 3 serviceable quarterbacks that have been drafted in 3 years.
Yes.
Does that not strike you as strange?
No.
It should.
I feel like that's about the rate.
It's never happened before in any 3-year period in NFL history. I'll go the 3 years directly preceding to that. Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts. That was in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
You have one-offs because the year before that it was Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins, Drew Lock. You had Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson in the year before that, and Baker Mayfield for however much you feel hunky-dunky about him. Deshaun Watson and Pat Mahomes the year before that. Even the Jared Goff year, I can look at him and go, well, I mean, he has been to a Super Bowl and had another team one half short of a Super Bowl. The only other time I've ever seen this was we did have a spell where you had the Jameis year, the Goff year, and the Blake Bortles year right in line. There was just no prospects there. We didn't really believe in any of these guys. We believed in Jared Goff to a point, but it was, well, he's the best. He's the best of a less than ideal bunch. Carson Wentz was a lottery ticket. Mm-hmm. But even in those years, you had Teddy Bridgewater and Derek Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo and Marcus Mariota, who's been around forever, and even Trevor Siemian. I could make the argument there are 3 quarterbacks that have been drafted in 3 years that will be in the league 3 years from now. That is otherworldly level bad. And maybe it's just a bad stretch, but I would be remiss as the draft guy if I didn't point out, have you looked at next year's class?
No.
You got Deion Sanders' kid who cannot figure out that football happens in front of you. So don't turn your back to the line because bad things will happen when you do. And Quinn Ewers. That's it. There's nothing else there. And I like Quinn a lot. I like Shadour's arm. He has some really bad habits that I don't often see guys break. Zach Wilson had those same habits, but he never broke them. Mm-hmm. I'll give you a lot of examples of guys that did the exact same thing, never broke them. So there is a possibility that you will go 4 years here where you have one all-timer prospect that became a good quarterback. Mm-hmm. One Mr. Irrelevant that's been really good on the best team in the NFL, and Sam Howell. That's what you'll have had for 3 years. Could be 4 years if somebody doesn't show up next year.
Right.
And that doesn't bother you in any way.
I don't know that there's a correlation. Is there a correlation to the state of college football right now? That we're not building quarterbacks that are ready to come in and compete?
I believe so.
Maybe.
I believe there is. And I'll tell you why that is. Quarterbacks are who are getting the big boy money. How many questions do you still have about Caleb Williams?
A boatload.
Why? What is it? Is it his talent that you question? A little bit.
It's the consistency of that talent.
Why are you so bad against against good defenses? Yeah. You kill bad ones. Okay, but in terms of just, I put you in this system with the Bears. You've got all this talent. You added Keenan Allen. You got DJ Moore. There's a possibility you still got Roman Dunze or Brock Bowers or another weapon. You're in great shape by comparison to what any of these other guys have been in.
Physically, he should be fine.
But I worry about you between the ears.
Mm-hmm.
That's the correlation I'm trying to draw. I want you to look at these names and just think about how many of these guys have done weird things that don't make a lot of sense. Trevor Lawrence, not so much. He's super quiet. He was the christened. There's been no challenge to him, no nothing. Zach Wilson had issues with his mother on social media within 15 minutes of him being drafted by the Jets. Trey Lance, you didn't hear much out of. He was a small school kid. Okay. Justin Fields, how many dumb things have you heard him say about he's one of the 3 best running quarterbacks of all time? Awesome. You're one of the 3 worst throwing ones. Mac Jones, the issues with Bailey Zapp. He was apparently Bailey Zapp was watching film with receivers because he and Mac got along so poorly. That was all in 1 year. Kenny Pickett, who pouts to such a point that he has to be traded because they brought in a former Super Bowl champion with a team that made the playoffs with his backup. Desmond Ridder, who, trust me, it ain't hard to find the stories about him and Arthur Smith of he very well thought he was the best quarterback in that room and did not hesitate to tell it to people. Mm-hmm. Malik Willis, who I'm not 100% sure still knows the playbook in Tennessee to this day.
He's been there 3 years.
Matt Corral, who had alcohol problems that came out about 14 minutes after he got drafted.
Mm-hmm.
You see a trend here? And maybe you're going to call me the old guy in the room because I did just get a year older, but I'm looking at a slew of prospects here, and I'm looking at a slew of super immature prospects.
Mm-hmm.
You're not as talented, but you're every bit as entitled. That would worry me. That would worry me, and that's the reason that now I'm going to double down on something I've said, 10 times before. If I was the Chicago Bears, I would take Jaden Daniels, and I would not think a second thing about it. Because you know what I don't have with him? I don't have any question of your maturity. Not one bit. I don't have one issue with you coming to the league and getting money and winding up in your mother's lap like a tabby cat purring because I got my feelings hurt because we got beat. I don't have any of that.
Nope.
And you could say I'm overreacting. I don't care. I have watched an entire offseason now of quarterbacks who have no leverage whatsoever that want to act like they're franchise quarterbacks. None of you are. None of you are. There is nothing worse than a 4 that thinks they're a 9. And that is what every single one of these guys are.
Absolutely.
I'm good. I'm good. Because I think Caleb Williams is a 7 that thinks he's a 12.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying he's not super talented. And I'm not saying that setup in Chicago, that's probably the only place he could go that I'm not going to go, oh, this might be the big one. This might be the epic bust of all epic busts.
That is, again, that is part of the fallout of the NIL stuff. These guys are starting quarterbacks in college. They're getting early money. And if you'll remember back to our conversations about this in the past, I've always pointed to, yes, there will be problems. Yes, you will have guys that have issues with getting their money immediately. But in my opinion, what this does is open the window to every scout in the NFL, every front office guy. I now know how you're going to react. I now know how you're going to react when you get money. That was a big question with guys for a long time of once you get the money, how are we going to know how you're going to deal with this? If you're getting big money in college, like a Caleb Williams or whoever, how you handle that is going to be on display, just like we've seen with Caleb Williams already.
We have a really good comment in the chat. We've got to take a break. It's from Chio Chanazu. I hope I said that correctly.
If I didn't, I guarantee you.
Tell me how that's pronounced in the break, because that's a really good point, and I want to touch on it.
Mm-hmm.
So when we come back, we'll talk about, is it flawed prospects? Is it, because I think there's an easy answer to that. And when you hear hoofbeats, it makes a lot more sense to assume horses than zebras.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Nice looking Monday afternoon, but temperatures will continue to stay chilly. We'll bump up briefly here as we head on through midweek before we get colder again late week. Today, 50-ish. I think most of us will stay in the upper 40s. A cloud-sun mix with a gusty breeze. Tonight, blustery and colder, 25. Some spots will be colder. It's still breezy, so heavier jacket tomorrow morning. May need a jacket in the afternoon. Sunshine, upper 50s. Wednesday, sunshine, low 60s. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes.
It's bow time. The only thing you want after a made-from-scratch Bojangles biscuit with juicy country ham is another one. For a limited time, get 2 ham biscuits for $5. That's 2 fluffy country ham biscuits. Cravings meet savings. Order in the app or at Bojangles. It's bow time.
Hey, I got a question for you. You hate bending over to put on your shoes? Wish you could just put them on standing or sitting without ever having to touch them? If so, then I have the shoe for you. Introducing new hands-free Skechers Slip-ins. With new Skechers Slip-ins, you just step in and off you go. You don't even need to lace up. So how do Skechers Slip-ins work? Well, there's a special smooth comfort pillow in the heel that helps your foot slide right into place. So just step in them and go. Find new hands-free Skechers Slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Woody and Wilcox.
All the holidays are pet holidays now.
Is that what it is?
Get ready for Cinco de Mayo.
You and your dog doing shots together.
Right. So hard to teach your dog to suck the lime.
Weekday morning starting at 6 on Asheville's Real Rock. Rock 105.1.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations like Freeform Radio. Search Freeform Radio and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Why are people saying Hugh yeah to Jackson Hewitt? When you switch to Jackson Hewitt, they will beat what you paid last year on tax prep, even if you filed online. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Hey listeners, do you want to win a scholarship while helping save lives? Well, now you can. Go to ProjectYellowlight.com, a scholarship competition for high school and college students to help with the brakes on distracted driving. Submit your radio ad idea and your submission could be turned into a national radio ad, just like the one you're listening to now. Make a statement, win a scholarship, save a life. Go to ProjectYellowlight.com in partnership with Project Yellowlight, NHTSA, the Ad Council, and iHeartRadio.
No purchase necessary. Ends April 1st, 2024. For details and official rules, hit up ProjectYellowlight.com.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Let's open up the whole can of kick ass and kill them all. Let the paramedics sort them out.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. We're seen everywhere on the YouTubes. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. You can get in on the discussion of the day or of the hour here, which has been the fallout from Justin Fields, Kenny Pickett, that whole drama going on with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the development of young quarterbacks is what we're focusing on. What is the reason that we've had this 3-year stretch of really not really any good quarterbacks coming out of it?
Well, and I'm going to call him Chio because I don't know how to pronounce the rest of that. He asked the question, is it bad teams that draft top quarterbacks that they then destroy because they can't develop quarterbacks?
Yeah, that's part of it.
And the reference was Brock Purdy and the Niners both had maturity in a system to develop it. My only argument to Brock Purdy would be you do realize they drafted Trey Lance the year before that, right? Mm-hmm. Who they broke into little itty-bitty pieces.
Did they break him, or was he just not good enough?
He may not have been. He had high-level assets.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where this is scaring me, is because I look at quarterbacks that have been drafted, and there are really only 3 kinds. High-level asset guy that we hope we can develop. That would be Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, Malik Willis, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields. Then there's the incredibly smart kid, which was supposed to be Kenny Pickett, Mac Jones, Stetson Bennett, C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud had high-level assets. We helmet scouted him. I'll go ahead and admit that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that Ohio State offense. It has produced so many guys that look better on tape than they are. He was the one that bucked that trend. Then you have what is supposed to be the ready-made product, which was Bryce Young, Trevor Lawrence. And it's really the only 2. Everybody else needed developing. Well, the funny thing is both those guys have underwhelmed. They haven't been what they were sold to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I could make the argument they both went to places that don't do a great job of developing quarterbacks. The 2 best quarterbacks in those franchise history are Cam Newton and Steve Berline. So, ew.
Right.
So, yes, I do think there's a merit that bad teams do take some of these raw guys and they can't develop them.
There's no question of that in my mind.
But we've always done that.
Mm-hmm.
The Buffalo Bills. Hey, who was the best quarterback that they had before Josh Allen?
Jim Kelly.
Do you realize how long ago that was?
Yeah.
Do you realize how many swings at this they made?
Mm-hmm.
How many J.P. Lozmans there were in between Josh Allen and Jim Kelly?
E.J. Manuel.
And before that, it was Jack Kemp.
Nathan
They've had
Peterman.
3 in the history of a franchise that started in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to get lucky, and you really have to develop guys. I get that. That's not really my problem. My problem is that I look to guys, and I'm not specifically meaning to call out this one draft class because, yeah, teams need quarterbacks, and we're going to shoehorn these guys. The entire 22 draft class was flawed.
Mm-hmm.
I told you this is the worst draft class, worst quarterback class in the history of the NFL.
And the teams got it right for the most part, didn't they? Everybody except for Pittsburgh, who reached and took Kenny Pickett at number 20. Everybody else waited to the 4th round, which is what you need to do with a flawed prospect.
Well, I would argue they all got it wrong because they let Sam Howell somehow be the 6th one drafted amongst them.
Well, I mean, sometimes there are mistakes.
Which I would say that wasn't predictable, except I very loudly predictabled it. So 22, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
They were flawed prospects. They went too high because they're quarterbacks. The one that really makes me nervous is 21. You had all these guys that had these high-level assets. None of them developed. None of them. Even Trevor, who's supposedly the success story. They haven't developed him.
Mm-mm.
He's not any better right now than he was 3 years ago. I can make the argument he's worse at certain things. He holds the ball way longer than he used to. And I don't know where that came from, and it doesn't really matter. It's just a question of why does it keep happening?
But is that the Jacksonville Jaguars' fault for not making him better, or is this the old cliche that you like to? I don't know if cliche is the right word to use, but
I do love cliches.
But the old phrase that you use all the time with Alabama players, right? They had such good coaching at the college level that they got everything there was to get out of him, and so
okay,
Trevor
so Bryce
Lawrence,
Young, I can give you that.
Trevor Lawrence being under what was his name that went to Virginia, the offensive coordinator, Tony Elliott. So Tony Elliott, did he get everything there was to get out of Trevor Lawrence? And we all just went, well, he's got all of these skills. He's great at it at the college level. He'll just come in and transition right away and maybe he was tapped out.
So my only argument to that would be, what other player did Tony Elliott get everything out of? Oh, there's not one.
Travis Etienne. I don't know.
I would say he's been better in the pros in bursts.
Maybe.
Than he was in college.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't look at Clemson and go, yeah, they really they squeeze every ounce of juice out of their prospects. No, I looked at that way. I looked at that way with Nick Saban, and I'm really glad you said it that way because that's the point I'm trying to make. What coach in college football do you look at right now and go, that dude's doing stuff? In terms
as far
of
as
instruction.
Developing?
Who's the best on-field instruction coach that we have right now? I have a name in my head. I'm not saying you have to agree with me.
Give it to me.
I would have said Jim Harbaugh.
Okay.
But he's in the NFL now.
Okay.
Brian Kelly would be mine.
He's the best at developing the talent that he has?
I think so.
All right.
I mean, here's the thing. He's got 3 no-doubt top 20 picks coming out this year. The results that weren't there on the field. But, I mean, who do you like? Who would you say is better? Oh, just for being Ryan Day? I'm not intimidating Lou. N-I-L.
Right. I mean, selfishly, I would want to put Kirby in that. I feel like he's done a good job of developing players, but they all come in as 5 stars, right?
I was about to say it's real easy to do that when you have 5 stars. It's also real easy to do that when you look at how he hires. I think I would put Kirby Smart almost in a completely different category of he's the ultimate CEO because he hires obnoxiously well. Look at how many guys have been on that staff that either already are high-level head coaches or they're getting ready to be.
Mm-hmm.
He just did it to Alabama. Oh, Nick's gone. Cool. Come to me. Allow me to show you the ways of the world.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, Kirby is not necessarily the on-field instruction guy. I'll give you that with the defense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really feel that way about the offense because that's been
Bobo.
A lot of Mike Bobo and Todd Monken, who, I mean, he's fine.
No.
I think he develops defensive players really well. I guess what I'm referring to is who is the guy that if you're a quarterback, you look at him and go, that's the guy that's going to get me to the NFL and have me prepared.
Lincoln Riley.
Look at his track record with quarterbacks. It's awful. Baker Mayfield, boom. Really overpaid, boom. Kyler Murray, he was the number 1 pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever looked at him that way? Have you ever looked at him like he was a top 8 quarterback in the league? No. And yes, I get that he was in a bad draft. I get it.
But it's the stat sheet, right? It's the guy that's turned out 3 number 1 picks and Heisman Trophy winners.
And that's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
I could make the argument that all 3 of them have been disappointments. Jalen Hurts wasn't, but he doesn't really get credit for Jalen Hurts. At least not to me.
There are
he
some
was
that
very deep into his. I mean, he wasn't a great
It was a graduate
thrower.
year, yeah.
He was in a grad year, and he wasn't a great thrower of the football when he left Lincoln Riley.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that's my point. The guy we're talking about that is the elite quarterback developer, every single one of those guys has had huge questions coming out, including Caleb Williams, who he's getting ready to put in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that guy. You have all these different gimmicky systems, and guys come in and you don't know exactly what they are. It's really easy for me to spot a quarterback that is not an NFL quarterback. I was making jokes about Kenny Pickett the entire draft process, going any evaluator that looks at him and says that is a first-round talent is not just over their skis in their job. They are out of their damn mind. I have done this for long enough. I told you, I think we bet on this at one point. You wouldn't bet with me because you agreed with me.
Yeah.
But I said I'll put a month's pay on that Kenny Pickett is never an above-average quarterback in this
Absolutely.
league. Because it was so
not hard to see.
Abundantly easy to see. It was easy to see with Matt Corral. It was easy to see with a lot of these guys.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, another one.
Trey Lance.
Trey is.
I know, you know me. I was never on board.
Bought in.
I was never on board. Dude's got 6 starts. You are out of your mind if you spend a 3rd round or number 3 pick on this kid. I was not buying it at all, and I need. But this is part of the reason. It's because I've watched guys like Trevor Lawrence go. What was he like 35-1 or something in his career at Clemson? I watched him come into the league and struggle. I get the Urban Meyer thing. I don't care.
Well, the Urban Meyer thing was a lot.
I get it. But still, to me, there would be points where I would see him, and despite the fact that he's got really crappy coaching, I would go, that's it. That's the one. I can't really point to a time when I felt that way about Trevor Lawrence other than the second half of that game against the Chargers in the playoffs.
And even
he threw 5 interceptions in the first half to put him there.
And even that was the Chargers just falling on their own sword.
Right. I mean, the second half was great, but your first half was so atrocious.
Well, you go back, he did have some high-level throws in that second half, but a lot of it, he was playing 7-on-7 because they were playing so far back, just trying not to get beat over the top, that he surgically picked them apart.
Is an absolute different game. Everybody knows this between college and pro. My big question is, what is standing in the way? And I don't know that anybody can answer that. What's standing in the way of these quarterbacks having success?
I have a theory, and Mike Baker just said it in our YouTube comments. He said patience is dead in the NFL. That's a huge reason that these guys fail. Because how many rookie quarterbacks have had any level of immediate success? That's why we all lost our minds about C.J. Stroud. And it's revisionist history. I heard this on a high-level show this morning. C.J. Stroud went to a great situation with the Houston Texans. That was the worst roster in the NFL, and we talked about it for 3 years. He made it look that good because he was that good. The coaching hire was perfect. Red Sea said that the Cardinals had basically killed Kyler Murray with Cliff Kingsbury and the front office. I don't dispute any of that. What I dispute is I don't see a top 8 quarterback there. And I don't see anybody developing him into that.
No.
We've had 2 of those in 6 years. C.J. Stroud, because I do think he's a high-level quarterback, and I'm not – the more the season went on, I'm not 100% sure that it mattered where he went. Because I said if Carolina had taken C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young went to Houston, the Texans would be a lot closer to the Panthers, and C.J. Stroud would be a lot closer to Bryce Young, than what you saw in Houston. I still believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that he's not so good that he wouldn't have succeeded anywhere. And it's him and Mahomes. That's the only two.
Yeah.
They both got really lucky that they had, in one case, an elite quarterback mind in Andy Reid. The other, they have a really good young offensive coordinator in Bobby Slowick and great calm from their head coach with D'Amico Ryan. Because I think he's an excellent coach. But I think Baker makes a really good point. Of a lot of these guys are coming from gimmicky offenses. They don't really understand the way of the NFL, and no matter how much we want college to infiltrate the pros because of running quarterbacks and fantasy football, it's never going to be the same thing. Ever. If we do this until I'm 200 years old, college football will always be different from the NFL for one very simple reason. There are not enough high school football players that can play at a high level to keep there from being places like Baylor where they can play defense and could not score at a frat bar with a pocket full of hundreds.
Yep.
That will never cease to be a thing. And it will always be a problem. But the fact that we don't develop these quarterbacks at all, we just throw them out there. Justin Fields was in a terrible situation. If he had been put in Houston, I'm not going to tell you he would have been a franchise quarterback. I think it would have gone better than it did in Chicago. And that was what I railed on the night of that draft. Is Chicago just put Justin Fields in arguably the worst position he could have been put in the NFL. And so now I take a guy that I thought was, you're almost guaranteed to be a bust anyway. And then you multiplied that by 10 because he went to the Bears, who at the time had no receivers, they had no offensive weapons, and the offensive line was atrocious. And they couldn't stop a nosebleed with a roll of paper towels. He had no shot.
Yeah.
He had absolutely no shot. And that's how I'm looking at New England right now. That's why I am so adamant New England should do anything but draft a quarterback. If Minnesota will give you the picks, go get the picks from Minnesota. You'll break whoever it is you put in that offense. I don't care who it is. If Caleb Williams fell to you at 3, you'll break him. If Jaden Daniels falls to you at 3, you'll break him. He has nobody to throw to, and the offensive line is terrible.
But he's got K.J. Osborne now.
Woo!
We saw how well that worked out for Kirk Cousins. He wouldn't near be the quarterback he is today without K.J. Osborne. Kelvin Joyner in the YouTube comments says, is it possible that we're just spoiled by the last generation and that finding an elite quarterback is supposed to be rare? It's supposed to be this hard.
That's a really good point.
Because I agree. I agree with him.
Yes, elite is supposed to be that rare. I have never seen so many unmitigated bums wind up as first-round draft picks. We've done, 4 drafts together?
I believe that's
5,
right.
4, 5. The first one we did was Daniel Jones and Dwayne Haskins.
Mm-hmm.
I only remember that because when Daniel Jones came down, we each looked at each other and went,
oh, boy.
Could you run that by me one more time? What did he just say? I know he did not say Daniel Jones at 6.
Uh-huh.
But every single year there's been a guy that I go, what? Could you run that by me one more time?
Because you're looking for something that's not there.
Exactly.
You're desperate to find that franchise quarterback, and they don't exist. They don't just come from a tree, from an orchard that I can just pluck and go, yay, there's the good fruit. You don't know. Every damn one of these pieces of fruit from the quarterback tree has a worm in the middle of it. And the only way that you can make that better is to have somebody that can coach around their flaws.
Joshua Brooks said, I think the term generational quarterback is hurting young and rookie quarterbacks. I agree wholeheartedly. And Gambit fan asked, so what's the tangible difference between, say, Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence? I don't know that there is a tangible difference. I think that's why the combine is so important. Because when you hear Joe Burrow talk and you hear Trevor Lawrence talk, there's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Jamar Chase didn't hurt either. Just throwing that out there because I'm not dumb enough to say, well, I'm sure one of them needs a lot of Cliff Bars. No, one of them has the best receiver in the NFL. So that helped a great bit. But there is a difference in the drive of those two. Joe Burrow hates losing more than he loves winning. I think Trevor Lawrence just wants to win. That's the closest to a tangible difference I can give you.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. When we come back for the break, it'll be time for Jeremy's picks of the night.
Hey, it's Mark Starling from First News on 570, and I've been going to Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt for years. They're fantastic, but you don't have to take my word for it. Check out some of these 5-star reviews from Google. After searching for a dentist for months, I finally found this place. I needed some serious dental work, and they got me in within a week. If you're anxious about going to the dentist, I assure you this is the place that can give you a new outlook on having dental work done. They're upfront, honest, and caring people who only want the best for their patients. You gotta check out Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt, home of the Comfort Menu.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets pack $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem killing helpline 877-718-5543.
This is an election year like no other.
So we're bringing you election coverage like nobody else.
In-depth coverage of all the key races.
On News Radio 570 WWNC.
Western North Carolina's election station.
It's the moment you dream of. The moment you work for.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
It's March in North Carolina, and that means it's time for brackets. But this year, unlike years past, that means it's time for legal sports wagering, too, with DraftKings. I'm Jeremy Greene of theSportsocracy.com, and this is Green on Green, brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. This week, I'm going to be giving you little tidbits to help you set your brackets as we head into the madness. We'll start with the first four. In 11 of the 12 tournaments where the first four has existed, one of the teams that won one of those games has won at least one more. 3 more have made it to the Sweet 16, and 2 have made it to the Final Four. So, you should be looking for a team in your brackets that could not only win in a first 4 game, but knock off a team when they get to the big tournament. If I were staking my claim to one, it would be Colorado State. And this year, for the first time ever, it's not just office pools. You can go to DraftKings Sportsbook and play in pools with your friends or in DraftKings sanctioned contests with people all over the country. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with my promo code JGBets and bet $5 will receive $250 instantly in bonus bets. Whether you prefer playing player props, same game parlays, or you just want to play that gut feeling in the money line, you can do it all with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code JGBets and bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code JGBets. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only, new customers only, subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit, wagering, and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Nice looking Monday afternoon, but temperatures will continue to stay chilly. We'll bump up briefly here as we head on through midweek before we get colder again late week. Today, 50-ish. I think most of us will stay in the upper 40s. A cloud-sun mix with a gusty breeze. Tonight, blustery and colder, 25. Some spots will be colder. It's still breezy, so heavier jacket tomorrow morning. May need a jacket in the afternoon. Sunshine, upper 50s. Wednesday, sunshine, low 60s. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by
Bojangles. It's always bow time.
It's bow time. The only thing you want after a made-from-scratch Bojangles biscuit with juicy country ham is another one. For a limited time, get 2 ham biscuits for $5. That's 2 fluffy country ham biscuits. Cravings meet savings. Order in the app or at Bojangles. It's bow time.
Worry less about spring cleaning and call Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for $129 plus a free hallway. Book online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets pack $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem killing helpline 877-718-5543.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We are live in the Ingalls studio. This is the Sportsocracy. We are seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat, get in on the quarterback conversation that we've been having in the first hour of the program, or as we're going to shift the focus here of the program, to the best free agency hauls and the worst free agency grades for the NFC teams. We'll do the AFC tomorrow. Looking at all of the teams, I mean, is there an overall winner for you right now in the NFC? Like, who's done the best job, Jeremy?
The Washington Commanders would be my.
The Commanders have formed a pretty good haul.
Well, I mean, just look how differently you look at, because I am almost 100% sure that it's going to be Jaden Daniels. So, moving forward, you're going to hear me basically treat 1 and 2 like they're foregone conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Williams is going to the Bears. Jaden Daniels is going to the Commanders. What happens from there? I don't know. I got some spicy hot takes on that, but I don't think it's just a given that's going to be Drake May to the New England Patriots.
And have they solved their biggest problems?
Washington?
Biggest problem was the offensive line.
I don't know that was the biggest problem.
Okay.
The biggest problem was they were completely talentless on defense. When you traded off Chase Young and Montez Sweat, you look at that defense and just go, my good God, you couldn't stop a peewee football team from scoring 25 points on you.
Mm-hmm.
But now I look at that defense. Jamin Davis, perfect example. A guy that I have railed on him since the minute he came into this league. Now he's got Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu next to him.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to be just fine. Still got Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne on the inside. You're giving Dorrance Armstrong a shot to be a real starter. I still believe in KJ Henry. You add Jeremy Chin, who's kind of a hybrid safety linebacker. That defense is not terrible.
No.
The offensive line, you had Nick Allegretti, you had Tyler Biotish.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's the winner. Yes, you still need a left tackle. I got it. They have a lot of capital. So to me, I'm just looking at that team going, I can live with Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, and De'Ami Brown. With Austin Eckler coming out of the backfield, with Brian Robinson as the thunder to his lightning, I'm okay with all of that. I keep looking at Zach Ertz going, that gives me the angina that you have a tight end that's almost the same age I am. And frankly, I think I blew my knee out existing over the weekend. Didn't do anything athletic. I just lived. And living was enough that I've walked around here like I had a corn cob in my keister. Because I can't put all my weight on it. Hurts. But are they your winner in the NFC? If I was giving out an A+, it would be Washington.
Okay. I could say I like the Philadelphia Eagles. I like some of the guys that they picked up in this offseason.
As your number one winner?
They're a winner.
Okay, why?
They're pretty high up there, too. Saquon Barkley, I still believe he can be one of the best running backs in this league. There's no doubt about it.
I mean, look,
you put him into that system, and I'm going to like that a little bit better. Put him behind that offensive line rather than the Swiss cheese that he's been behind in New York.
I don't disagree with you.
You got a quarterback that they actually are scared of. You got two wide receivers that they're scared of. You're going to have a lot of room to run on paper if you're Saquon Barkley.
So your high water mark is the least valuable position in the league. Okay. What else do you feel warm and fuzzy about?
Bryce Huff. You're Mr. number one pass rush win rate guy. I needed to add to my pass rush because I'm losing Hassan Reddick, and I feel like that's a guy that they're going to be able to use very, very well to give them a little bit more.
Well, my problem with Bryce Huff is that in Vic Fangio's system, you're going to stand him up, and I don't think you're going to like the way that goes.
Mm-hmm.
I love the player. I don't love the fit. And the more I thought about it, the less I liked it.
The extension with Landon Dickerson was a no-brainer.
No doubt.
You had to do that, but it was a good move on your part.
Mm-hmm.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson, this defense worked pretty well with him a couple of years ago. They had the fall-off last year. I'm not saying he's the missing link, but that's still a piece of the puzzle that could make a difference.
And to me, I'm looking at, all right, I've got their entire free agency period pulled up in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Devin White, a linebacker that I'm projecting could actually be good, or he could already be washed because he's got those.
He's not washed. He can't cover. We know that.
Which is insane.
But he still has that sideline to sideline speed, and you throw him in there with the other athletes that they've got, and Nakobe Dean and Nolan Smith, and I think that's going to be just fine. They'll find a role for Devin White, just like they've found a role for everybody else that they've picked up over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and I look at it as, hey, that's a one-year flyer on a guy that may or may not work out. C.J. Gardner-Johnson can't stay healthy. Neither can Devontae Parker. Zach Bond, woo.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I like Bryce Huff. I don't love the fit. I mean, for me, Philadelphia was the definition of a B-.
Okay.
I mean, I don't hate it. I'm a lot stricter of a grader than you are.
No doubt.
Which I feel like since we're going NFC East, we did not intend on doing it this way, but we
just
got
keep
my
on
division.
rolling.
Well, I mean, your big winner was the Eagles. Mine was the Commanders. There's only two other teams in that division.
Yeah. Okay, let's jump straight to big loser with the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. Both of them F-.
I would say Dallas is an incomplete. I can't really give you an F. You didn't do anything for me to dislike.
But is it not the inaction that you dislike? You had to get better, and you didn't. You've done nothing to get better.
Okay, but what were you supposed to do?
Above my pay grade. I don't know. I don't know, but you got to, find the running back of the future, or, I mean, I guess you're going to rely on the draft for that.
Well, I keep hearing people say this about the Cowboys. This is a team that they're missing something that is really important if you're going to sign free agents. What is that thing that makes the world go round?
Money.
Oh, yeah, money!
Mm-hmm.
They don't have any of it. What did you expect them to do? They're broke. This is what happens when you're paying a B quarterback A money. And they never got the extension done with him, so all they could do was...
Well, they did just restructure.
You save $4 million.
Is that it?
Hunky-dunky.
I just saw that came out before we went on the air.
In the NFL landscape, that's the equivalent of we saved enough money for us to get a Starbucks and a muffin.
Right.
Let's go.
I don't care what it is. I seem to be looking around the league and seeing all these other teams with, hey, they don't have a lot of money, and there's restructures to be done and ways to kick the can down the road and something. I don't know what the solution
who are those
is.
teams? Who are the teams that have that? You said there's other teams around the league.
New Orleans, Tampa, San Francisco. All these teams have been doing this for a long time.
Well, San Francisco has lost a ton of talent. I'm not sure that's the one I would use as the example. The others you just said have one thing that Dallas doesn't. That's quarterback on a long-term deal, because I can rearrange a whole mess of furniture when I can rearrange $40 million. They have nothing with Dak.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to give them an F grade, I'm totally fine with that. But it's because of Dak. This has been a rolling 4-year F because this time was always coming.
Mm-hmm.
If that's your guy, that's fine. I don't love it, and I'm never going to love it. But you got to commit. You got to be all the way in. You got to get him extended. That was one of the first things we said after the Super Bowl. The watch is on for Dak Prescott. Well, now it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going into a lame duck year anyway, so you can preclude that with an extension, but you've lost out on all of the pieces that you could put around him. You want to give him an F for that? I get it. Not spending big money, they didn't have big money to spend. They were in a situation of we've got to let talent go out the door. We've got to get rid of Michael Gallup. We've got to get rid of Leighton Vander Esch because we're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't rail on them as much. So for me, Dallas would be an incomplete. I want to see what they do in the draft. I'm not as down on them as you seem to be.
Okay.
Then we get to that other team. Can I give them an R? For absolutely unbelievably ridiculous?
The New York Giants.
Can you name me a move that they've made that you go, yeah, it made sense?
Ooh.
I mean,
not off the top of my head.
So Aaron Stinney. That would make you feel warm and fuzzy? Chris Manhertz and Jack Stoll and Isaiah McKenzie and Jalen Mills and Drew Lock and Devin Singletary and John Runyon and Jermaine Illuminor. Ah! That looks like I'm trying to lose every game because I traded every player on Madden and it makes me sign 53 players or it won't let me sim the season. I don't, and the crazy part is they overpaid like all of them. Devin Singletary at $16.5 million. But you couldn't sign Saquon Barkley. I get the money's different. The player's different too.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Singletary has been, and I've always liked the kid. He's a change of pace pack in the NFL. That's what he is. You put him behind a much better offensive line in Houston, he looked pretty good. He was really good at the end of the season. Does it not strike you as strange that they looked at Joe Mixon and went, hey, we'll pay him more, and we'll trade a draft pick to get him. Come on. No, Devin, we thank you for your service. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
Yeah,
that should tell you everything you need to know.
Say that drafted running back's not going to cost me $5+ million a year.
What drafted running back? They traded for Joe Mixon.
I'm saying if you were talking about the Giants,
talking about Houston.
Right? Oh,
Houston
okay.
looked at Devin Singletary and went, no, we're good. We'll pay this guy who's been god-awful in Cincinnati. He can still catch, but we're going to pay him big money and give up a draft pick and let Devin Singletary walk. That should tell you everything you need to know.
Mm-hmm. But what I was saying was New York should have just not.
I'm
not paying $5+ million to Devin Singletary when I can probably get equal to just barely less output from just a rookie.
I just look at John Runyon. You gave $10 million. First of all, I don't really know where you think all these guys are going to play. You do realize you can only play 5 linemen at a time, right? I mean, because I'm looking at it. You signed 2 blocking tight ends. You signed 1, 2, 3, 4. You signed 4 offensive linemen. You already had a couple guys that you were pot committed to. Where'd all these pieces go? That always makes me super nervous when I can't figure out, all right, left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle. Okay. I got 7 pieces here, Bob. There's too many pieces of the puzzle. You gave me too many pieces and I can't put them together. There's always something left over.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the Giants are the biggest loser in the NFL. I'm not sure that I'm not sure I don't mean that more than just this offseason. I'm not sure you're not the worst franchise in the NFL because you're so unbelievably clueless. What do the Giants do well right now?
Nothing. Do they do anything well? Do they defend well? Do they get after the quarterback well? Do they...
Well, I mean, and we didn't even talk about Brian Burns.
Do they run the ball well?
You give up the pick, and then you grossly overpay him.
Mm-hmm.
For what? For what purpose did you just do that?
For 9.5 sacks a year.
Woo!
Yay! $33 million.
If you had to bet right now the worst team in the NFL next year, who would it be?
It'd be the Giants.
I think it would be the Giants for me, too. New England's close, but I at least, and I don't love what New England's doing. We'll talk about them tomorrow. I don't love what they're doing, but I at least get it.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants, I don't. You were like a kid in a candy store that had $100 in his pocket. Give me 1,000 gobstoppers. Okay. What are you going to do with those? Eat them. Then I'm going to puke on the sidewalk.
They're definitely in the running for worst teams in the league.
Gambit fan said it's clear to everyone the Giants are tanking. Then why are you spending this much money? That if you're tanking, that's fine. There are ways to, hey, I got a 1-year deal on this dude. And a year from now, I can spend that money on a player that's good.
Mm-hmm.
No, 3 years, $30 million on John Runyon. You're tanking bad. You're tanking bad.
You're doing
Stop
this wrong.
Doing that.
Well, if he ends up being my starting guard, then and he's good at it, was that not money well spent?
What in the career of John Runyon would insinuate that that's going to happen?
No idea. They obviously believe it, though.
There were very few offensive linemen in the NFL last year that were worse run blockers than John Runyon. He was a mediocre pass blocker. He was a horrific run blocker.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to come here with less talent in a worse system and get better. Yeah, I'm sure that'll happen. Tim Raymond, our resident Giant fan, said our GM sucks. And Brian Daboll has no idea what he wants to do. Very overrated coach. He also said we have to pay people because nobody wants to come here. But you don't have to pay them. Don't overpay crap. It's never the right idea to take a mediocre player and pay them too much money. Because, all right, let's say John Runyon does work out. All you're doing. Because he's never better than mediocre. There is no path to that.
Okay.
I evaluated this kid coming out. I've watched a lot of him over the years. He's never going to be better than fine. So even if he's fine, what does that help you? I mean, does it help you that you've got a $10 million guard that's a $5 million value? Because we had to overpay somebody? I mean, and I get you're trying to save your job. I actually would say Brandon Beane and Brian Daboll made themselves more on the chopping block with what they've done here. If you just rolled over and died and said, you know what, we screwed up with Daniel Jones, we're taking a mully. Quinn Ewers, you should all start growing mullets right now. Those mullets will be in by the time we draft him next year. I might have been able to get down with that. This feels like the old boat owner. That I have this rusted out shell and we're going to put her on the water. No, you're going to sink. You're going to drive that thing to a lake. You're going to put it on said lake, and then you're going to swim. So that's where you're at. And I mean, I hate to be a jerk about the Giants. I feel bad for their fans because I feel like the Jets and the Giants have switched. The Jets are just now all in on we have to be good right now. Tomorrow be damned.
Mm-hmm.
And the Giants are doing the same thing, but they're doing it worse. They're throwing bad money at mediocre players the same way the Jets used to. And I can tell you how bad that is. And Giant fans, I don't hate you. I'm the only Jet fan on the planet. I don't hate you. I don't love you either, but I feel for you.
What is there to love?
I feel like we're New Yorkers and we're bound together. Sadness.
That's the problem that I have with the Giants, is what is there to love? There's nothing that I used to look at this team and go, hey, at least you got Saquon Barkley, right? He's one of the best running backs in the league. Now I look at this team and go, there's nothing about this I really like. You got a good left tackle. Good for you. Good job.
We got to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we have a super chat from our buddy Soaring Eagle with a story that I feel like has been wildly overblown. But we'll talk about that in a minute. And we'll continue with NFC team free agency grades.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
3 little words no parent wants to hear.
My tummy hurts.
And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids gummies help relieve occasional stomach upsets, turning those 3 words into these 3 words.
I feel better.
Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids gummies. Fast support for little tummies.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I lack a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Freeform Radio, a unique blend of Americana, classic alternative, and roots rock. Open the free iHeartRadio app, search Freeform Radio, and listen now, commercial-free. Free never sounded so good.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for, train for, run wind sprints when nobody's watching for, the moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time, the moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this, your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, and welcome back into the show. We're talking about winners and losers from free agency here on the program. Go ahead.
Got to turn the mic on.
Yep.
We had our first super chat of the day from our buddy Soaring Eagle.
Ooh.
Yeah! He was talking about the worst free agency might be the Kansas City Chiefs. And basically what he was referencing is the story that came out that the ownership and the management are basically pushing for the city to enact a 5/8 tax
the county.
thing, the county.
Yeah.
To build them a new stadium because I mean, and Chief fans, I don't mean this as a slight. It's the truth. Your stadium's a dump. And they know that, and they're in a window where, hey, we're really good, and we can monetize this. It's exactly what you should do. Mm-hmm. Frankly, if the Hunt family and everything Kansas City Chief wasn't leaning on Kansas City right now to go, we need a new stadium right now, because we are in a window of, it's weird. I think another team did that. They built the stadium, they had the quarterback, and all of a sudden everything just went hunky-dunky, and they printed money for 20 years. New England Patriots built Gillette, had Tom Brady, and let the good times roll. And that's what the Hunt family is trying to do. And I hate to say this, and I know a lot of people, especially where we are right now, get really in their feelings about this. You have to pay to play. Okay, there are 32 NFL franchises. If you're not willing to really incentivize this team, and yes, sometimes that means tax breaks. A lot of times that means tax breaks.
Yep.
If you're not willing to do it, there's about 100 other cities that are.
Absolutely.
And I don't care who it is.
And this is not just this is not just, the Hunt family looking to squeeze every ounce out of it. This is an investment. This is a growth opportunity for us. Yes, we already have one of the most historic home field advantages in the NFL. But look at where the times are going. Look at the way stadiums are going. That thing is outdated. You got David Tepper. He couldn't build one fast enough if he could, get his ducks in a row. But
you're the most well-run organization in the NFL from top to bottom. You just finished 31st in the NFLPA report card.
And guess what?
And it was all because of your facilities.
And guess what? If the voters of Jackson County, Missouri aren't willing to do it, guess who will? The neighboring counties. Mm-hmm. They will do it. This isn't Lamar Hunt swinging his weight around going, we're leaving Kansas City if you don't give us our money. No, we need a new stadium. And if this county isn't willing to raise sales taxes to help us pay for it, $20 billion over, 40 years? That's all the revenue that would come off of this little tax increase of 5/8 of a cent or whatever. If you're not willing to give it to us,
somebody is.
Then the neighboring county over here, we can still call ourselves the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll end up having a stadium that's outside the city.
Yeah, the Chicago Bears just did this for the better part of 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna build a stadium, and we're gonna be the Chicago Bears. We might not be in Chicago. We might be in a neighboring town where land is cheaper and the city council is willing to play ball with us. That's the business of this sport. We're not telling you they're going to become the San Diego Chiefs. No, they'll be the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just be in Kansas instead of Missouri. And trust me, that's a big economic windfall. Yeah, your sales tax goes up a little bit. That employs a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of people spending money at your grocery stores. That's a lot of people spending money at your gas stations. Simple Econ 101.
Yep.
And it'll never come to that. They will bend.
Absolutely. Because think about it, what would that city be without it? What would the county's bottom line look like without it? You will have every politician in Jackson County, Missouri. We have to pay this.
Oh, no doubt. We must pay this, or all right, here's the budget with this stadium. Here's the budget without it. You see how a lot of you have sad faces next to your name? That means unemployed. That's not fun for any of us, and we don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, to me, these stories come up seemingly like every time a team is up for a stadium or we start talking about it, and it always sounds way worse than it is.
Well, it's because people like us normies that don't have a lot of money, we live paycheck to paycheck. Maybe we got a little in savings, but we don't know the kind of money that these people are dealing with. And we go, oh, well, this billionaire, why am I paying to subsidize his stuff? Well, because you're a consumer of that stuff.
Yeah.
And you or someone you know more than likely will take a job working for that or directly in conjunction with that. It's how economic development works.
Yeah, if you think we're out of our minds here, go look up the 20 biggest media and revenue cities in the country and notice what all of them have in common. except one.
Mm-hmm.
They all have NFL teams. All of them. A couple of them have two.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but the Jets and the Giants aren't in New York. You're right. They're in New Jersey.
Because their taxes suck.
Yeah, because you put a tax code in that would have made it $1 bajillion. Yeah, I just made that term up. That's not even a real number. That's what New York State wanted the Jets and the Giants to pay.
Yeah.
And Woody Johnson and the Mara family went, or, hear me out here, falafel yourself. And we're going to Jersey. So, how about that? And that's what they did.
Yeah. The story I'm reading here about the about this whole deal, the proposed tax increase in Jackson County, Missouri. There's the Democratic state representative that said from Topeka that says, I imagine that Wyandotte and Johnson counties, those could be a really good fit for the Kansas City Chiefs. Jackson County doesn't want to pay it. Kansas City Chiefs move out of your county. Somebody else, some other government will get that windfall. That's what this is all about. It's all about playing the best game that or the best hand that you can get in business.
And Chio has a good point that the Milwaukee Brewers got their stadium, and a lot of county execs got booted for that. That's baseball. Baseball has a lot of overhead. That's the reason the Oakland A's are sitting on the side of the road right now going, catch a ride? Anybody got a city they'd like to let us play in?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a municipal stadium? Do you have a really big high school? We could make that work. We're only bringing like 43 fans with us, okay?
Somebody had said that the Kansas City Chiefs are about to get Oakland A'd. No, because I will just ask you, if it came out in those circles, the big money circles, that there's an NFL franchise that has won 3 Super Bowls in the last 5 years.
Super Bowls are real profitable.
Mm-hmm. That, they might be looking for a new place. How many municipalities do you think would jump on the chance at getting that? Rather than going, hey, the Oakland A's are available if y'all want them. I mean, they're just a crappy run franchise. They've never won anything in their entire lives, and it's not worth much money. There's a big difference between them and the Kansas City Chiefs. No one. There is no one that's not looking at Kansas City going, hey, I could do that.
100%.
My state could do that.
No
we
doubt.
could go out, Seattle or something, or not Seattle. I was trying to think of Portland or San Antonio or St. Louis is a good one. Any of these cities that get brought up every time the expansion topic comes up.
Yeah,
they would all look at that and go, yep, that's one.
Yeah, you'll find a city somewhere that has a mayor that looks and talks like me and goes, well, here's the thing. Your taxes are about to go up, but your land value is too, because we're in the NFL business now. That's roughly how that would go.
No doubt about it.
Speaking of
it's a
money,
hot commodity.
Speaking of money, there's a lot of money being had, a lot of money being won, some of it by me, thank you, NC State, and it's all on DraftKings Sportsbook. Right here in the Tar Heel State, you are now able to bet on your mobile phone from the privacy of your own car, your own home, wherever you are in our state, you can wager with DraftKings Sportsbook. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with promo code WPEK and bet $5 will receive $250 instantly in bonus bets. Whether you're a player prop guy, a same-game parlay, or you just have that really good feeling about an over-under live, you can do it all with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code WPEK. Bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code WPEK. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only, new customers only. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit, wagering, and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We'll get back to talking NFC free agency grades coming up after the break. We did the NFC East. I guess we should jump to the NFC South next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Nice looking Monday afternoon, but temperatures will continue to stay chilly. We'll bump up briefly here as we head on through midweek before we get colder again late week. Today, 50-ish. I think most of us will stay in the upper 40s. A cloud sun mix with a gusty breeze. Tonight, blustery and colder, 25. Some spots will be colder. It's still breezy, so heavier jacket tomorrow morning. May need a jacket in the afternoon. Sunshine, upper 50s. Wednesday, sunshine, low 60s. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report sponsored by Renewal by Anderson.
Renewal by Anderson's here.
Spring is right around the corner, and Renewal by Anderson of the Carolinas is here to help get your home ready. During the month of March, take $347 off windows, $939 off doors, plus an additional 5% off your entire project. Go to freewindowsassessment.com.
Doug Gottlieb here. March is here. That means Chick Days, planting your garden, and college basketball. Just like in basketball, every team needs its MVP. When it comes to team members who go above and beyond, Tractor Supply has the winning lineup. Our home team at Tractor Supply is excited to support your hometown. We're proud to be part of the excitement of college basketball tournament season, and our home team looks forward to serving your hometown. Because every day is game day at Tractor Supply.
Next Step Recovery in Asheville provides safe and structured homes and a full clinical outpatient program for men struggling with drugs and alcohol. Currently in network with Blue Cross Blue Shield and Aetna. Healing from addiction is a journey. NextStepRecovery.com.
When we think about our health, we usually think about exercising and eating healthier, but don't forget that part of your overall health is your dental health. And y'all, if it's been 6 months or longer since your last visit, you need to get in to see the dentist. And Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry, they offer general family dentistry as well as Invisalign orthodontics, Botox, fillers, sleep apnea screenings, and more. Dr. Merrill and the staff at Asheville Smiles, they're taking new patients, so get your smile back on track. World-class dental care with a hometown feel, AshevilleSmiles.com.
In a developing story, we've learned that after decades of service to boys and girls everywhere, the Easter Bunny has stepped down. He has identified his replacement as a local rabbit who has been seen frequenting area Ingalls markets in recent days. He has been stocking up on Ingalls Easter candy, holiday hams, farm fresh eggs, and Easter lilies and balloons. And they also say that Easter magic indeed starts at Ingalls.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
We're back in the Ingalls studio, and this is just weird. So the fallout from the selection show, all the teams getting selected into the NCAA tournament yesterday, and then after that you have the NIT. We had a bunch of teams that said no to the National Invitational Tournament.
The
and I get
in tournament, as I like to refer to it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it is an invitation, so you can choose to decline the invitation. We just don't normally see teams do this, or at least not to this level.
It's not this many.
We had Providence, Seton Hall, St. John's, all of the Big East teams that got screwed out of at-large bids, or at least they feel they got screwed out of at-large bids.
You didn't.
You had Oklahoma. You had Pittsburgh. Was there another one I'm missing in here? No, I believe that's it. I believe we had 5 teams.
Indiana's the one I'm thinking of.
Okay, maybe so. Like I said, there were a bunch.
Tom Crean went ballistic about it.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm with Tom Crean on this one. I get that it doesn't really mean a lot for your, to participate in the National Invitational Tournament. We all make fun of it as it's the not invited tournament or whatever. But I think Tom Crean has a point when he said on the selection show last night, or the fallout afterwards, that as a coach, do you not look at your team and go, there's an opportunity here to get better, to put ourselves on the floor one last time? How do you look at your seniors on that team and go, you'll never play basketball again, some of you, and we're just going to skip out on the opportunity to give you that one last game? Is there not something to be gleaned from participating in the National Invitational Tournament, Jeremy?
I believe so, yes.
I do too. I think putting your team out there will do exactly what all of these teams are using as their excuse to say no. We're focusing on building for next year. Well, unless you're going to go, and this may be the plan for Pitt and Oklahoma and Indiana and Seton Hall and all the other ones that said no. Maybe they are planning to do the Deion Sanders thing and just completely kicking all the bums out of their program, and we're only going to have 2 guys left. Then maybe you don't have a reason to get on the court one last time. But to me, it's just, why would you do this?
Oh, because you got your little feelings hurt. That, we didn't make the tournament, then we're sad. Yeah, you want to know how you make the tournament? I don't know. Stop losing to god-awful teams.
Mm-hmm.
Or, here's the thought. Don't lose 14 games in a season. They don't tend to invite teams that do that.
No. And all of the Big East teams are upset about the net.
Seton Hall's in it, by the way. You said
Are
Seton
they?
Hall, they're in it. They're a 1 seed.
Okay.
You said that, and I immediately went, no. I looked, because I'm going to bet the NIT very aggressively on DraftKings Sportsbook.
Okay, excuse me. I guess I read this wrong. The leading line was when they were snubbed by the NCAA tournament, they got invitations, and some of them said no. Which one of them
we
was?
We did get invited to the tournament, and we're sad.
Which one of them being St. John's? Which I get this in St. John's scenario because he's already told us. He went out in front of the media, and I blasted him for it. But it seemed to work.
I didn't, and that's why I didn't.
Yeah, it seemed to work, right? It rejuvenated the fan base. The donors got involved, as you said. You explained to me, Jeremy, the day after when I lost my mind about him lambasting his players in front of the media, that it did provide a spark. They went on a run. They won some games down the stretch of the season, and lo and behold, you went from being god-awful to actually being in the discussion of being in the tournament. But again, this is St. John's. They're going to tear it down.
Oh, no doubt.
They're not going to put these same guys on the floor. I can't say that for the rest of these programs.
Well, Indiana's got their feelings hurt. We're a blue blood. Are you sure? You used to be a blue blood. You're not so much anymore.
Indiana is the Nebraska of college basketball.
Oh, my God, that's the greatest analogy you ever made. Indiana is to college basketball, and Nebraska is to college football.
No doubt.
I'm never going to unhear that.
We think we're still big whoops because we went undefeated in 1980.
Yeah, you were really good before I was born. I'm almost to AARP age.
Yeah.
I got a ways, but I'm getting closer. Mm-hmm. And it'll probably be after that you're relevant again. St. John's, I don't hold it as much against Rick Pitino. Because after they lost in the tournament, he burned everybody's crap. Like, he just, big fire, everybody's crap goes in it. Get out! Out, I say! I must recruit players that can play, and that is not you, because you are a bum.
Right.
And I'm fine with that, because I was raised in 1997, which means I am not afraid of a little yelling to prove a point. My story is about New Belgium Brewing and a new partnership they have.
Okay.
New Belgium, very popular.
Is it with this show? Are we?
No, it's not. Although it could be. If you'd like to call me, I'm not hard to find, New Belgium. I like your products quite nicely because I have my favorite kind of beer, and it's the next one. They are they're starting a new partnership, and it's a new beer.
Okay.
They're combining two things that everybody loves.
Oh, I hate this already.
But I'm not sure I'm going to love them together, but I'm willing to try it.
Mm.
They've joined forces with Tombstone Pizza to make a iPizza A. iPizza A?
Yes.
Where the P
the Imperial Pizza Ale.
Stands for ZA. It's inspired by Tombstone Pizza's Born in a Bar heritage. This limited release pizza IPA is for the boldest of beer and pizza lovers. I ask you, yin out. Now listen, before you answer this, I as the resident drunk, according to some people that listen to the show and then send emails to PD, I feel like I am entitled to voice my opinion here.
No doubt.
That you drink some crap that has, it's like Mad Libs. We got a peanut butter, toffee, and shoelaces IPA. And Tank goes, gimme.
I'll try anything. And I will. I'll go down to New Belgium when they develop this beer, and I'll go up to the bar, and where they're pouring all the beverages, and I'll go, can I have a sample of that, please? And that's as far as it will go.
Don't be the sample guy.
Oh, I am not spending $7 on a beer just because you think it's cute to mix it with mozzarella cheese flavor and tomatoes. Get out of here.
It's a beer, not a Pinto, you cheap. I almost said a slew of bad words.
You can all you want to.
Everything
it is stupid for you to do otherwise.
No, it's not, because it's a local business and you should purvey it. And if you want to try it, you give it the whole beer experience instead of getting it in a medicinal shot glass and just going, I don't like that.
Nope.
Give me some 4 more.
Nope.
No, you choose a blade. You, Mr. Oatmeal Raisin Cookie Porter, you choose a lane. You cheapest.
You don't know me very well because you know I have never drank any of those. I hate dark beers. I hate this crap that people are like, oh, here, give me this toasted coconut marshmallow s'more Guinness. You go bury that in a backyard somewhere.
Then you know what? You get a beer you know you like. You don't get to try things. You try things when you buy them. That's the American way. I am here supporting the small business.
I will support the small business. I will try your little concoction of god-awfulness. If it's good, I might have some. If it's not, then I'm going to order something that I like the double.
Well, if you are one of those guys, then you just order the double, and I will tell you about the pizza. Ask for them.
Isn't that how you? Is that how you say
Can I
that?
have a sample of the beer? No, Mr. Asheville.
Yeah, not doing it.
Because we're Beer City, USA. Don't be that guy. All right, don't go to the bar and ask for a sample of beer. Don't go to the ice cream store and can I get a little spoon? Can I taste the peanut ripple? It's peanut ice cream.
Yeah.
Eat it or don't.
Yeah, just spend your money on stuff you don't like. That's a good idea. You just go that new car that's on the market. You should go buy that. Don't even test drive it. Don't even get into it.
I just said it's not a car. Just said that. I get test driving a car. I don't understand test driving a Pilsner. Let's commit.
No.
You commit.
No, sir. I only have 3 good beers in me to begin with before I can't really figure out what's tasting what anymore.
Well, that was kind of my point. Why don't you just get 2 cheap beers and then you won't know the difference. Speaking of which, we'll be at the Village Porch this Friday for day 2 of March Madness. You can play March Madness with us on DraftKings Sportsbook.
Mm-hmm.
Just follow the link that is in our YouTube chat right now, and we'll be on our social medias after this here program. $5 entry, max 5 entries. Must be 21 years of age.
Stop putting food in beer.
I mean, can you not just give me a beer and a Tombstone pizza?
Exactly.
Because I hear this, and you know what I want? A Tombstone pizza, and I'm fat, like super fat. Somebody took a picture of me on Saturday, and it has ruined my whole birthday because I am so fat. I am not going to make it to next year's birthday if I don't stop being such a fatus.
Mm-hmm.
I did not plan on rambling about this. Then Tank went, oh, give me a sample. Oh,
damn
stop.
right.
Go vote Democrat. We got to take a commercial.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets packed $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem killing helpline 877-718-5543.
This is the time of year to enjoy life. Stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want to do this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you, so you can walk and run and climb stairs and play golf and move again pain-free. No pain pills, no risky surgery. This is an all-natural solution. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients who have reclaimed their mobility. Take action now and live your best life this spring and summer. It's a great use of your tax refund check, by the way. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Phone 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Sorry, we were still arguing about this.
Shame him!
Oh, you can't ask for a sample in a bar.
You shame him! You shame this man for doing things.
Everyone on Jeremy's side of this argument is an idiot. I'm just going to say, it's the dumbest thing you've ever said. Don't ask for a sample of something.
It's the worst.
You just buy the whole thing and then just, if you don't like it, screw it.
If you don't like it, they made their money off of it. It keeps prices low. Much like Ingalls, low prices love the savings. I'm getting better at this transition thing. Let's go. Tank has already just...
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
my whole cornflakes today.
Most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Samples. You shame this man. You see him on the street and you look at him and you go, shame.
Gambit fans says, I like peanut butter. I like ice cream. If they're combining the two, surely I like both. You honestly believe that's true? All right. Good luck with your pizza beer.
And the reason that Gambit fan and I would get along is because he said, and if you're wrong and hate it, well, that's a valuable $6 to $8 lesson.
That's dumb.
Stephen Town said, you go to the restaurant and ask to sample the steak. That is a good point.
That's not a good point. That's not even close to being true.
Him. By the way,
that's not even comparable.
This is a total aside, and we don't even have enough time now to finish what we were talking about.
No, we don't.
The show has just gone on a rabbit hole, which is fine. Have you ever been to Rye Knot over there on Merriman Avenue?
Rye Knot?
It's a brewery and a distillery. They make their own beer, and they have
never heard of it.
First of all,
they should advertise.
They have they're wonderful people, and they're very new. They're great people. They have the best macaroni and cheese on the planet.
Okay.
So I did not want to do much for my birthday. Like, we had kiddo with us. I just wanted a mellow, chill day, and that's exactly what I got. It was awesome. So we go to Rhinot for dinner. My lovely wife goes, hey, they have a dry-aged tomahawk steak.
Mm-hmm.
We did not notice that it said size may vary.
Okay.
And the reason that they said that is because I'm pretty sure, killed Dino from the Flintstones and brought out a bone with a steak on it. And it was...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
40-day dry-aged.
Oh, I bet that's delicious.
Oh, trust me, I ate some of it at 3 o'clock this morning when I was still awake because I was just angry at the world. Like free samples over here. I didn't even know you were going to piss me off today, but you had me at you.
There it was.
I mean, I knew it was coming. I was awake thinking about it, eating steak out of the fridge, like a Doberman at 3 o'clock this morning. But I do have to give them the free plug. It's over on Merriman, across from the Ingles on Merriman Avenue.
You said Rhinot?
Rhinot.
Okay.
It is so good.
All right, it is the Sportsocracy. It's the ESPN Asheville. It's time for the top of the hour. When we come back, hopefully we will have stopped all of this nonsense and we can get back to the NFC free agency grades.
It's highly unlikely.
With the NFC South at the top next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Nice looking Monday afternoon, but temperatures will continue to stay chilly. We'll bump up briefly here as we head on through midweek before we get colder again late week. Today, 50-ish. I think most of us will stay in the upper 40s. A cloud-sun mix with a gusty breeze. Tonight, blustery and colder, 25. Some spots will be colder. It's still breezy, so heavier jacket tomorrow morning. May need a jacket in the afternoon. Sunshine, upper 50s. Wednesday, sunshine, low 60s. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report sponsored by Renewal by Anderson.
Renewal by Anderson's here.
Spring is right around the corner, and Renewal by Anderson of the Carolinas is here to help get your home ready. During the month of March, take $347 off windows, $939 off doors, plus an additional 5% off your entire project. Go to freewindowsassessment.com.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the March Spring Sale, March 15th through the 25th, and get 35% off paints and stains with prices starting at $28.92. That means 35% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 35% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only, some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Over 50,000 police officers are assaulted each year. Help police by not escalating. Address any complaints after the encounter. Comply now, complain later. Keep everybody safe. This message brought to you by the National Police Association. Learn more at nationalpolice.org.
Hey, it's Mark Starling from First News on 570, and I've been going to Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt for years. They're fantastic, but you don't have to take my word for it. Check out some of these 5-star reviews from Google. After searching for a dentist for months, I finally found this place. I needed some serious dental work, and they got me in within a week. If you're anxious about going to the dentist, I assure you this is the place that can give you a new outlook on having dental work done. They're upfront, honest, and caring people who only want the best for their patients. You gotta check out Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt, home of the Comfort Menu.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Who's leading in the polls, red or blue?
Who's heading to the governor's mansion? How about the White House?
Get the latest updates right here
On News Radio 570 WWNC.
Western North Carolina's election station.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
It is the Sportsocracy, and we are live on a Monday here in the Ingalls Studio, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on the YouTubes. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can get into the chat and settle the debate with us here of... They all think I'm crazy for asking for a sample of a beer that I've never tasted before.
Stephen Tao said, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Tank definitely asked for the good ice.
For the good ice?
For the good
God.
ice. I need the good ice.
Which, no, just don't sample anything. Just know what you like, order it, and just be done with it. Just if you don't like it, it's fine.
And here's the thing. For those of you that I'm sure somebody's going, I thought this was a sports show. It is. You want me to break down Vermont's backcourt against Duke? Is that fun for you?
It is indeed.
We need to get to the gambling. We're talking about football. We got stuff. Topic came up.
That's right.
It's the way good shows roll.
That's right. Thank you for joining us in the program today and talking about NFC free agency grades. We already talked about the NFC East earlier in the program, about an hour ago, I think.
Yeah.
We left off with that.
We went down a slew of rabbit holes.
And, so...
Somebody is so mad right now. Just talk about the sports!
Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants both get failing grades for their off seasons from me.
I gave an inconclusive to the Cowboys because you didn't do anything.
Which to me is why you failed.
You didn't turn in your homework, so I mean you got a 0, but it's a.
See, that's the problem.
You could have got it.
That's
right.
the problem. Dallas was asking for samples. They just you come in and we'll look at you for a second. And
where is my stupid bell? There it is. That is exactly right.
Dallas wanted samples. They just didn't want to buy the whole cow without getting a good look at it first.
And that's how you end up with Deuce Vaughn as your starting running back.
Yeah. You can get a good look at a T-bone by sticking your head up there. But anyway, Dallas and New York have, I'm gonna keep using this term because I know it ticks Jeremy off. They've punted on this offseason. And then we had winners. His favorite was Washington. I don't know that they're my favorite, but one of my favorite hauls of this offseason so far has been the Philadelphia Eagles. They added a lot of pieces that I think will be quite successful in their scheme there.
And the Eagles were a stand-up B- for me. Washington was a big old A+.
Let's talk about the NFC South. The hometown Carolina Panthers. Did you like anything that they've really done? Like, did you look at something and go, yes, that makes that team way better?
Way better? No. I see a slew of things that I think were good. I like that you upgraded the defensive line, or the offensive line, excuse me. Do I love that you gave Damian Lewis $53 million? No, I don't. Robert Hunt is fine. I think he's one of the 3 best guards in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yep.
You're going to get a much better read out of Bryce Young with that offensive line. Deontay Johnson, is he a head case? Yep. You know what else he is? A head case on an expiring contract.
Mm-hmm. And super talented. If you can keep him in check, that could be quite nice with Bryce Young.
And this is the best analogy I got, and this might upset some of you. When you date the crazy girl, you want to know when she's the least crazy? 5 days before her rent's due. That's Deontay Johnson. Not nearly as crazy when them bills got to get paid.
Right.
And that's kind of where I'm at with him. You're getting a free 1-year trial of, can you be that player without being that crazy?
Yep. I lost Frankie Louvu to the Washington Commanders.
That part I didn't like.
But then Ajiro Avero replaces him with Josie Jewell, who wasn't bad and worked well in his system in Denver.
Yeah, that's, to me, Josie Jewell's probably 85% of Frankie Louvu at less than 85% of the cost.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that.
Ashawn Robinson was another signing.
Didn't love that one.
Put him down there with Derek Brown. You don't like that?
Not really. He doesn't do much for me. I mean, it's fine.
It's just another
you're filling
run
slot. You're filling slot, just kind of like you did with DJ Jackson. I like the deal on DJ Wanham.
Okay.
I think you got a nice value there. They added a slew of players. You got some value out of Brian Burns, and you didn't overpay.
Mm-hmm.
And you got another second-round pick. So
what grade do you put on that?
B+.
B+.
Carolina's a B+ for me.
Okay. I can get down with that. That seems to be in the wheelhouse. It actually feels like a Tank Spencer curvy grade. But you're right. I mean, these moves all do have great value.
There were 8 A free agents. You signed one of them. You're not getting less than a B for me unless you gave them 5 times more money than they should have.
New Orleans Saints.
Well, not cousin Colin Greene keeps telling me that they're about to give way too much money to Chase Young. Well, so that makes their grade a little harder for me. I mean, they've been
fine. That's again. This is another team that doesn't have money.
I mean, yeah, they signed Willie Gay and they extended Tyrann Mathieu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they're C-. You don't have any money.
Yeah.
So.
C- is a great place to put that because this is just a neutral move.
Look, I like the Willie Gay move. But, I mean, other than that, it's Xander Horvath, who, yes, that is a great name.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Peterman, Cedric Wilson. I mean, Andreas Pinckney, who is a Saints fan, just said they're a C-. I tend to agree. Now, if you sign Chase Young and the money's not crazy, we get into that B territory pretty quick. Because you didn't have any money.
Mm-hmm.
So you add an impact player like that, you open yourself up to doing different things with your first-round pick, and I can reconsider. But it's really hard to evaluate teams that just don't have much money.
Mm-hmm. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You're the Bucs fans. I'm going to let you be wrong, and then I'll come in.
You're going to let me be wrong.
I'm going to let you be wrong, and then I'll come in with, the voice of reason.
Yeah, it's just it's a C for me. Because
maybe you're not wrong.
Well, I mean, you overpaid Baker Mayfield. You know how I feel about that. You overpaid for him. Mike Evans was an overpay, but I get why you did it.
I don't think he's an overpay.
That's
in line with the wide receiver market.
I guess. I guess, but he's on the older side of that, and I don't really like paying $26 million a year to an older wide receiver.
But he's an older wide receiver that's not going to lose the speed.
Sure.
He's not going to get 3 inches shorter.
No, he uses the size well. He does all of the things well, and he works with the quarterback. So I get why you did it. Levante David staying on. Okay, $10 million, up to $10 million. I think that was only a $5 million deal. It was either us or nobody. So I can't really tip the cap to you.
Who was that on?
Levante.
Yeah, that was a positive to me.
It is a positive, but what I'm saying is it's not like you did anything special there. He said, I'm either playing in Tampa another year or I'm retiring. So it wasn't like Jason Light pulled off some big move to keep Levante David in the building. Jordan Whitehead coming back, I like that. Antoine Winfield, it was a no-brainer. You had to do that to keep him in the building. Ben Bredesen, I mean, he's another body to throw at the offensive line. But
you got Bryce Hall, though, keeping up a great Todd Bowles tradition of we are going to make sure there are at least 4 dudes here who couldn't cover a table.
Mm-hmm. You ensured that you can be 9-8 again.
I don't think you can. I don't. I've looked at your schedule, and I'm telling you, it is gruesome. I don't think you're not. That's the issue that I've had with this, is that I feel like your ceiling is so low. And it was. And now, look, I do get that you made a lot of these moves before other moves in the division were made. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
It was the worst kept secret in the NFL. So, I mean, you knew this was coming.
What was the worst kept secret?
About Kirk in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
And look, Kirk's better than Baker Mayfield, period.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's not even debatable.
Mm-hmm.
And their weapons are better than yours. And their defense is better than yours. And you just lost your best 2 pass rushers, and you didn't rush the passer all that well in the first place. I just don't understand how this is supposed to work. Tampa Bay is the definition of that team. I call these comb-over teams. You see the guy who is just desperately clinging on to I can't be a Baldwin. And so he and his tar-infused gel product have slathered 8 strands of hair across his head like they're lacquer in the highway. That's Tampa Bay. You got just that, what did you call your hair? The invisible hair.
Yeah.
And you just, I'm out for a hot date. Got my tweed jacket with my suede patches. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
But your grade and mine weren't that different. I had a D+, you had a C. And I got news. The minute you signed Baker Mayfield to that deal, this wasn't going to be better than a C.
Right. No.
You could have gotten Mike Evans to sign for 2 years for $12 and it a C.
That would have greatly increased the grade for me. But we all knew this was coming. We all knew that they were not just gonna shut it down. They weren't gonna quit because they can't. Because the front office is stuck. Exactly. The front office is stuck in this.
That's the way this always happens.
Mm-hmm.
And if you notice, every grade of mine that you see that is just really, really low, New York Giants, perfect example. You're trying to put lipstick on a pig. There is only one thing that you put on a pig, and that is Heinz 57 sauce, because it's delicious.
On a pig?
Oh, yeah.
Heinz 57 on your barbecue?
On pork?
Yeah. On like a pork chop?
I was thinking like a pork chop.
Okay, all right.
Or A1. You can do either one. I like Heinz on a pork chop and A1 on a moo cow.
Okay. I don't really go barbecue sauce there, but...
You know, funniest thing, since I quit smoking, I hate barbecue sauce.
Really?
I don't know what it is. It has a really objectionable taste to me. I always loved barbecue.
Or if it's a fried pork chop, you go with the chow chow.
The what?
You've never had chow chow before?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, my. It's like
I'm not sure you didn't just say something offensive. I'm not sure how you did it.
It's like a cabbage-based relish that you put on pork. You've never used that before. Really? Wow. I'm going to have to bring you some.
You lost me.
So good.
You lost me at cabbage-based anything.
Mm-hmm.
The only cabbage-based dish that goes with pork is coleslaw.
Oh,
That's with the Duke's mayonnaise. That
you
can buy at your local
pickles, right?
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go get some hot chow chow from the Coates brothers over at the farmers market.
Just so you know, I hate cooked cabbage. So I don't know if this is cooked or not.
It's not cooked. It's pickled.
I could in theory get down with it.
Oh, it
doesn't sound horrible.
It's very good. It's one of my favorite things. The fried pork chop with some chow chow on it. That's a southern delicacy, my friends. And I feel sorry for you that you've never had it.
I've never even heard of it.
We'll definitely make that happen.
I've never even heard of it.
Patrick Holt. It's great on pintos too. Yeah, no doubt.
I thought you were trying to feed me dog food, if I was being really honest, because I heard chow chow and I went, "Isn't it Alpo?"
You put chow chow on a hot dog. So good. Oh, so many opportunities.
That sounds lovely.
Oh, it's good. So good. Anyhow, I don't know why we got down this rabbit hole once again. But, oh, yeah, you said 57 on a pork chop. I've never tried it, and now I want to.
Oh, it's good.
Because I love 57 sauce.
Oh, it's good. 57 gets a bad rap. It's solid.
From who?
Me.
He's like me. I think people talk smack about it, and I just have to defend it.
Yeah, because I'm an A1 truther, so I feel like.
Okay, so you're like Heinz 57 sauce, like you are with Sam Darnold as a quarterback. Like,
yeah,
I'm just going to instantly defend it, no matter what.
No matter how bad John tries to kill this company, I will still defend Heinz 57.
John. Good throwback.
Yeah,
I like
Let's go.
Good for you.
All right, let's talk about the good team.
Let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons. We all, or at least everybody in this room, feels like the Atlanta Falcons now are the far and away favorite to win this division next year. They got Kirk Cousins. Yeah, they paid a bunch of money for him, but what else were you going to do? You didn't have a better option. Would you feel better about the Atlanta Falcons if they'd gone out and got Justin Fields for a 6th-round pick?
No. Well, for a 6th-round pick? Could I have used that
Same
money?
deal that was going to turn into a 4 if he played 51% of the snaps, which the only other quarterback on the roster would have been Desmond Ridder, and he definitely would have been worth a 4th-round pick. Or he would have earned that 4th-round pick.
Yeah, you're right. All right, you're right.
So,
you had to talk me through it.
Okay, Kirk Cousins, I love the move. I said early on that was the move of the offseason because you had to. It was just writing was on the wall. You instantly made this team better. Then you went out and got Darnell Mooney. Plus you ended up getting Rondale Moore in a trade. Other than that, don't really know that you made any moves that really matter to me.
Look, this team is significantly better on offense than they were.
Yes, adding the quarterback and adding a couple of weapons went a long way.
I mean, I don't see how it's anything short of a B+.
I agree.
And for me, your biggest signing wasn't even Kirk Cousins. It was Raheem Morris. You know why? Because he does one thing real well. He bees not Arthur Smith real well. And frankly, you could have hired Yosemite Sam with offensive coordinator Foghorn Leghorn, and I would have liked it better than Arthur Smith.
Mm-hmm. If you hate our takes on any of these things, right, if you hate the fact that maybe we're, downing your favorite team and what they did in the offseason, and you want to just show us that they're better than this, put your money where your mouth is. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live here in the state of North Carolina, and they are an official sports betting partner of NASCAR. And we've been live for a week. What's taking you so long? Because now you can bet on your favorite sports anytime, anywhere, right here in the Tar Heel State with DraftKings. And for a limited time, new customers who sign up with the promo code WPEK and bet $5 will receive $250 instantly in bonus bets. You need to take those bonus bets and you can put it on other stuff, like maybe stuff with great odds, and maybe, earn some free money. It's a great option. It's safe, secure, and fast and easy payouts right at your fingertips. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using the code WPEK and bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code WPEK. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license. Take a quick break. When we return, we will continue with the NFC free agency grades.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $10 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Help the planet with a tip from iHeartRadio Earth. Marine litter is often the result of poorly managed trash on land. To help prevent trash from escaping from your outdoor trash bins on collection day, keep the trash bin lid closed. Don't overflow it, and put it out for pickup shortly before the scheduled pickup time. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Imagine a world where every individual has the chance to reach their full potential. For over 60 years, ARC of Buncombe County has made that vision a reality for children and adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. But right now, ARC urgently needs heroes, compassionate people like you who can step forward and make a difference. Every donation is a lifeline. Visit arcofbuncombecounty.org to donate now. That's arcofbuncombecounty.org. Be an ARC hero.
The Lombardi may have been lifted, but that doesn't mean there's no football to talk about. It's the offseason, and there's no better way to stay up to date with the latest from our league than with the Around the NFL podcast for news and fresh content all offseason long. From the start of free agency, where we'll break down familiar faces headed to new places, to the next generation of superstars walking across that stage at the NFL draft, listen to the Around the NFL podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Heed the call.
Presented by T-Mobile for Business. Now is the time for 5G business.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP,
The Beast Unleashed.
with 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
In a developing story, we've learned that after decades of service to boys and girls everywhere, the Easter Bunny has stepped down. He has identified his replacement as a local rabbit who has been seen frequenting area Ingalls markets in recent days. He has been stocking up on Ingalls Easter candy, holiday hams, farm fresh eggs, and Easter lilies and balloons. And they also say that Easter magic indeed starts at Ingalls.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
It is ESPN Asheville. We're back inside the Ingalls studio. Low prices. Love the savings. You can find that Chow Chow on the shelf at your local Ingalls supermarket.
Boom.
It is so tasty.
Great.
There's also a company that makes, it's called Slausa. So it's the cabbage, it's the pickled cabbage, but it's mustard based. And it's made specifically to put on bratwurst and things.
I don't like
it's so good.
I don't like bratwurst.
Well, you can put it on any sausage, really.
Yeah, bratwurst to me is one of those that the juice is not worth the squeeze because it's going to give me heartburn so bad that I'm going to lose my will to live at some point in that day.
Mm-hmm.
And, not worth it. Give me a pound of bacon. It's going to do the same thing to me, and I'm going to like it way better.
Well, for the rest of you, not a bad option. Anyhow, it is the Sportsocracy, and we're running through NFC free agency grades, division by division. The NFC West is next. We'll close out with the NFC North coming up after the next break. But in the NFC West, the Seattle Seahawks have to be your winner, I would think, of the West. To me, the addition of Sam Howell basically puts them above anything anybody else has done. I think that's singularly the most important move that was made in the division.
I agree with you. I don't love a lot of the other things that they've done. I mean, Sam Howell's great.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's a slew of reclamation projects. I do like Terrell Dodson. That was a solid move to me. For me, they're B+. Because I am that fond of the fact you got Sam Howell for a bag of footballs.
Mm-hmm. Bringing back Leonard Williams, to me, was a great move. George Fant coming back. I don't know how much gas in the tank he's got left, but he's at least somebody that the others can learn from, if that's a thing. And then Jerome Baker. I've always liked Jerome Baker. And I think of that Seattle defense. Let's just say I feel like Mike McDonald can get a lot out of him. So I'm right with you. I'm in that B territory for Seattle's offseason haul. How about
they're no doubt the winner of this division.
How about the San Francisco 49ers?
F minus.
F minus. You don't like one single thing that they've done.
What am I supposed to like? I mean, honestly, what am I supposed to like?
Devondre Campbell. I know you like him.
I like him in the 3-4. So now you're going to put him in a position that I've seen him play before, not well, and that's your high watermark?
Pretty much.
I mean, just look at it. Do you have a list pulled up in front of you
I do.
Of their most?
I do, and it's not great.
Who that they have signed, do you not look at and go, that is a gross overpay? Jordan Elliott was a gross overpay. Leonard Floyd, to me, was an overpay. Colton McKivitz was an overpay.
Yeah.
Yetur Gross-Matos was a Gross-Matos overpay.
It was. 2 years, $18 million. That's insanity for that guy. You're not wrong. There's not a great move to love. The best move they had in this offseason, to me, is Malik Collins. And yay.
Whoa.
Yay. That's really going to sway me. I still feel like they're the best team in this division, but it's way closer than they want it to be. And there's no way that I can feel comfortable going into this year and just blindly thinking that the 49ers are going to win this division like I did last year.
I just look at San Francisco, and you lose pieces. And then even Dre Greenlaw, who's not going to be ready for the start of the year. I just don't like it. Mm-hmm. I don't like any of it. You're predicated on running the ball, playing good defense. I think the defense is half of what it was last year. Without Armstead, without Chase Young, Dre Greenlaw not starting off the year. I mean, you didn't really address the secondary, which I don't think is all that good. It was hidden by the fact that the defensive line is so good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's that good anymore. So I just feel like this puts a lot more on Brock Purdy. And the more you put on Brock Purdy, the more liable it is that he's going to show you exactly who it is that we think he is.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't think John Lynch is a very good GM, and I never have. I know you've got your Tampa Bay, fire them cannons, creamsicle-colored glasses on. He doesn't draft well, and it seems like every single year I look at what they do in free agency and go, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not understand that other teams have to be willing to pay as much as you did or you overpaid a guy?
There is a regression of talent that can be traced year after year after year with this team. Like they took a little bump. Obviously, it ended up being a huge bump with the Christian McCaffrey addition, and then you get the little bumps here and there with these guys that they're able to get on these short-term deals, the Chase Young deal last year.
And that works when you're crushing it in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
They're not.
Nope.
I mean, go back and look at last year's class. That make you feel warm and fuzzy?
So what'd you say, F+? What are you giving them?
It's not that low for me. I mean, they're a D. You made a lot of moves.
Mm-hmm. I just don't know where you got better.
I don't see a place that you got better.
Mm-hmm.
And your bread and butter, you got worse.
Arizona Cardinals. They've made quite a few moves. Did any of it change anything, though? Sean Murphy Bunting being added to the secondary.
That's the one I like the most. And I feel like they're going to add an outside corner some point early in the draft. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the rest of it that is just so unbelievably uninspiring to me.
Jonah Williams.
The one hope is that I do think they're going to play him on the left. And he was better on the left. I still maintain he's a guard. I don't hate it. I don't love it. But I think with Paris Johnson, I think you're going to see a gigantic jump from Paris Johnson in year 2. It's just the $30 million on Justin Jones. Like, what has he ever done that would merit that kind of deal? Bilal Nichols. What has he ever done that suggests he's a $7 million guy? I had him at 2.
At $2 million?
Yes.
Okay.
I do projections before the offseason on every guy that I think is going to hit the market. And I know that Leaky Photo is not a guy that Arizona fans really love. He's better than both the guys you just signed. That should tell you everything you need to know. Basically, any metric you could possibly ask for when playing in position, he's better than both guys you just signed. And they were both way more expensive than him. It's just, I don't get it. I understand that you need veterans. So if that's what this is, you know this is year 2 of a 3-year rebuild. You can get out of these deals. Because I've looked at a couple of them, and the guaranteed money is really front-loaded. Okay. This could be a time where the contracts are a little bit misleading. Because you didn't want to shoehorn yourself into having to take 2 big defensive linemen early. If that's it, then, okay, I get it. Straight up, I get it.
Yep.
I just don't understand why you paid them.
Red Sea says, as a Cardinals fan, that literally cannot be true.
It is true.
Because Fotu is abysmal.
It is true. Sadly enough.
Sadly enough. He is better than the 2 guys.
Now, is it possible that you had Bilal Nichols playing out of position? Yes, because this is a pretty significantly different role that he's going to be asked to play. But, I mean, he was god-awful against the run. God-awful against the run. He wasn't that much better against the pass. And I don't know what it is that you see. We have deals like this every year, where it's almost like a team looks at money and goes, we have to spend it, and we're going to spend it on a position we need. The value of the player be damned. That scares me, except for what I said about the draft. The most important thing for the Cardinals this year, I don't really care what you sign in free agency, because by the time you're good, these guys are going to be somewhere else anyway. I want to know what you do in the draft, and if this precludes you from reaching, let's say Byron Murphy and Tavondre Sweat are somehow gone when you pick at the end of the first round. If this keeps you from reaching on a second-tier guy, worth it. I don't give a damn about the money, because you used the most important part of your team building to actually build your team, as opposed to reaching on a guy because we had to have a defensive tackle. That's where I will give the caveat. It may not be as bad as I'm saying. And you're Arizona, it's hard to get people to take your money. And you need veterans, because you cannot trot out the handful of pieces that you had on the roster last year, plus what you're going to draft this year. I mean, you would be talking about 14 of your 22 starters would be first or second year players. So you do have to have some veterans.
All right, let's move on.
They were a C- for me, by the way.
Oh, a C-. Okay. Let's move on to the Los Angeles Rams.
I'm going to let you go on this one, because I don't necessarily think we're going to agree.
Well, okay, so I'm not the talent evaluator here. Who was it? Somebody said in the chat, Tank, it was GG Gambling, the Rams fan. It says, you do know, Tank, that the Rams O-line add-ons, that they're now a top 5 O-line in the league. Is that true?
I would not go top 5, but they're pretty good. They're pretty good, and now they can address other things in the draft.
With Jonah Jackson being added.
Now, if he had given me the caveat of I'm only talking about the interior with Dotson, Jackson, and
Avila,
I would have agreed. Rob Havenstein's an older guy, and I don't really know what you're getting out of Alaric Jackson. I've seen it be good. I've seen it be bad. Now, having talent around him, I'm assuming this is going to be better.
That's where I come down on this. I'm not sure. I know the middle. Sure. I know the middle of that line is going to be okay. The tackles, I'm not so certain about.
I would put the interior 3 in the top 3 in the league.
Okay.
It's the tackles that I look at. One of them could when the regression happens on Rob Havenstein, it's going to happen fast.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 32? Because Rob Havenstein is a giant. What is he, 6'8", 335, 340, something like that?
Sounds about right.
When dudes that size regress, it happens. They go from, hey, he was real good to, holy crap, what happened to him? He gets struck by lightning or something? He doesn't really seem to – his hands and his feet don't work in concert together anymore.
Yeah. I had no problems with, them bringing in Jimmy Garoppolo to be the backup to Matt Stafford. Will he be around long enough to be the heir apparent? No.
No, this was to protect you with
if he gets another bonk on his noggin.
Bingo.
Then I have Jimmy Garoppolo to lean on, and I know that I can at least get serviceable play out of him.
And I'm not playing John Wolford.
No.
Or Bryce Perkins or any of the other garbage.
I don't think you can play John Wolford because I think he just re-signed with Tampa.
He did.
Yeah. So you can't have him back. That's a champion in the building. Let's go.
Here's the thing. The name doesn't matter. You know the player I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
But I like the Cameron Curl move. I like Darius Williams. You got him, I think, at a pretty nice value.
Colby Parkinson was dumb.
Yeah, the Colby Park. Basically, every tight end, you should look at the money on that was bad. We should have stayed away from tight end.
Mm-hmm.
And you know why that happens, right? Because it's such a god-awful draft. You got 2, and then it's, shoot. Have somebody play that position, and these guys are bad.
I don't know, that Dallin kid or whatever, the kid with the long hair. He looked pretty good at the combine.
Yeah, is that the one that knows that he knows the truth? Hashtag birds aren't real.
No, that was
Tip.
That was yeah. I don't remember his name.
I can't remember his last name. I've been trying to. It'll come to me in a minute.
Right. Darius Williams, Cameron Curl, those were fine additions to the secondary. Los Angeles is the runner-up in this division for me.
They're
in all-season
closer to
grades.
Seattle for me. That's where I thought we were going to disagree. I mean, yeah, I don't like the Colby Parkinson deal. G.G. Gambling had a point that Allen and Higbee are both hurt. I don't care if they got abducted by aliens and they went to a galaxy far, far away. That deal on Colby Parkinson is awful. But that's really the only deal I can hurt you on.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger knock is Aaron Donald retiring. Because I don't know how much you were planning for that. If you were, I don't think you did the greatest of jobs of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you were just hoping you could let the good times roll? But, I mean, even with that,
to me, it seems to have blindsided everyone.
I had Seattle at a B+. I have the Rams at a very solid B.
Mm-hmm.
They're right behind Seattle.
I would agree with that. So we've got Seattle, L.A., both winners of the offseason. Arizona, neutral.
Like I said, they need veterans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how easy it is to get – well, that's a lie. I know it's very difficult to get veterans into Arizona, so you overpaid. But as I said, if it keeps you from burning draft capital on just need instead of talent, I can't railroad you for it.
And then a possible sign of major regression talent-wise coming here for the San Francisco 49ers after, well, an offseason that one day, relatively soon, they may look back on and go, yeah, we ought not have done that way.
We boo-booed that. Hey, all these guys were supposed to be good, but they're not. And we saw it, and we didn't care.
We've had a lot of action in the NFC North. We'll talk about those free agent grades coming up next here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Nice looking Monday afternoon, but temperatures will continue to stay chilly. We'll bump up briefly here as we head on through midweek before we get colder again late week. Today, 50-ish. I think most of us will stay in the upper 40s. A cloud-sun mix with a gusty breeze. Tonight, blustery and colder, 25. Some spots will be colder and still breezy. So heavier jacket tomorrow morning. May need a jacket in the afternoon. Sunshine upper 50s. Wednesday, sunshine low 60s. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by First Restoration Services.
Fire, flood, wind damage, arguably a homeowner's worst nightmare. For nearly 4 decades, First Restoration Services has been helping people recover from disasters with trust, integrity, speed, and quality. If you have a disaster, call them today, 1-800-537-6151, or online at frs247.com.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Doug Gottlieb here. March is here. That means Chick Days, planting your garden, and college basketball. Just like in basketball, every team needs its MVP. When it comes to team members who go above and beyond, Tractor Supply has the winning lineup. Our home team at Tractor Supply is excited to support your hometown. We're proud to be part of the excitement of college basketball tournament season, and our home team looks forward to serving your hometown. Because every day is game day at Tractor Supply.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations like Freeform Radio. Search Freeform Radio and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. Don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
It is the Sportsocracy live in the Ingalls studio. Low prices. Love the savings. Free agent grades for the NFC. Down to the NFC North. A lot of movement in the NFC North in this offseason. Favorite move from the North was what?
Trading for Keenan Allen for the Chicago Bears.
Okay. All right. I get it.
Because it's just a safety blanket with a quarterback that I'm going to need a safety blanket.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I get Cole Kmet. I think those two work nicely together. Low-key, I love what Chicago's done. I do. I love what they've done. Did they pay some of these guys too much money? Yeah, they had a lot of money. They had a lot of money, and I'm not so sure they're done yet.
The more and more I think about it, my favorite move from the NFC North was the Minnesota Vikings moving on from Kirk Cousins. I loved it so much for Atlanta that they got it because I do feel like that is a team that should be ready to compete. With the right coaching, that team should be ready to compete. At least contend and threaten the top of the NFC. We didn't get that this last year because their coaching was terrible and they didn't have a quarterback. But Minnesota, you weren't contending, and you weren't going to.
Minnesota was the worst team in this division with Kirk Cousins or without.
Agreed.
Didn't matter.
Did not matter. So to me, the fact that you started it, you started going down that path of we're just rebuilding around Justin Jefferson, and we don't even know if that's true. A lot of rumors about Justin Jefferson being on the market for something, and I can't buy it.
I won't believe that until I see it.
You don't let a guy like that walk out of your building.
I mean, unless you just get an absolute haul. I mean, the haul would have to be insane.
I mean,
and I don't think anybody's doing
they keep going back to Randy Moss. Like, that franchise, it took forever for them to become relevant again. And I feel like you'd be in the same boat if you did that with Justin Jefferson.
Well, I mean, the fear is that you would be wasting his prime. Bill Buttigieg in our YouTube comments said that they're meeting with J.J. McCarthy. I feel like I would say it's 75% they end up with Drake May, 25% they end up with J.J. McCarthy. I can't see a way they do anything else.
Mm-hmm. Getting those 2 draft picks and moving up. Yeah, as we discussed on Friday. All right. Team by team here. You said Chicago. You love what they did. Let's start with the Chicago Bears.
Where's the hole in Chicago now?
Well, quarterback.
It's Caleb Williams. I already told you. I'm assuming this until something tells me this is not going to happen.
Oh, you have a name to throw in that slot. Yes. Whether it's going to be good or not.
He's a talented player.
Yeah, he is.
And you look at what you put around him. You have 2 ones at wide receiver. DJ Moore is a 1. Keenan Allen is a 1.
Mm-hmm.
And they were both, top 11 in the NFL analytically last year?
Okay.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift, who's a nice piece out of the backfield as a receiver. It's kind of the lightning. Still got Khalil Herbert, still got Roschon Johnson. So you're going to be able to run the ball. I like the left side of the line. I think Nate Davis is an absolute bum. But there's a possibility that you're going to find a guard at some point over the course of the first 2 days of the draft. And then I look at the defense. The defense was so good by the end of last year. You just couldn't score.
Mm-hmm.
You had Justin Fields he found a way to screw up every drive, seemingly, because he was so unbelievably inaccurate. Now you've added Byard over the top of Jaquan Brisker. I like the young corners anyway. You kept Jalen Johnson, who was the number 1 corner in the league, analytically. Think you're going to be able to rush the passer. I won't be shocked if they take another pass rusher at 9. I mean, because now I'm looking at it going, all right, let's say Rome Odunze or Malik Neighbors doesn't fall to him at 9. Okay. I'll take Jared Verse, and I'll be just fine. And I'll put Jared Verse on the opposite side of Montez Sweat. And you look at the way that defense is built, I'm going to terrorize you.
Yes. As long as Matt Eberflus can focus on what he focuses on and allow Shane Waldron to focus on what he focuses on, this can work.
I mean, and you just look at how many of these positions. Bill Buttigieg said they need a center. Well, they have one of those. That's Ryan Bates. I'm fully confident that's why they brought him in.
Okay.
Because he was the piece that could play anywhere. He was the player they traded from the Bills. They signed him to an RFA deal a year ago, I believe. They've long thought that he was something. I don't know what that something is because he didn't play much. But they obviously believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
And they may have him as a guard, and they're going to take – that would be the most – now that I've thought about this, that would be the funniest thing Chicago could do. You take Caleb Williams at 1, and you take Jackson Powers Johnson at 9.
Ooh.
Oh, Nate Davis, bye. Bye. Leave your clicker on the table.
Yep.
You play Bates at guard, you have Jackson Powers Johnson, and now I'm just going to run the ball down your throat because I've got some big physical linemen. And that puts Caleb Williams in a position to succeed. I can't hate on that.
So your overall grade for the offseason?
They're an A- for me.
A-. I do love Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. As long as you get competent quarterback play out of that,
well, you
should be just fine.
You just look at how much better this roster looks now. And now, look, I know you fleeced Carolina on that number 1 pick deal. But, I mean, now I'm going to say something about Chicago. I don't know that I've ever acknowledged this. I was railing on this team going, what are you doing trading out of this spot because you don't have a quarterback? Now, in hindsight, I get it. It wasn't that you believed in Justin Fields. It's that you believed that none of these guys were going to be competitive throwing them in last year. So you fleeced Carolina. You rebuild the entire roster. And they were right.
Mm-hmm.
This roster right now is better than mine would have been had I done what I planned on doing with the Bears last year.
Yep. And there was a to me, there was a little bit of luck involved there. Carolina made the move, and I didn't expect them to be that bad. I didn't expect them to be number one pick bad.
I didn't expect
you
them to be
got a little
number one pick
lucky
bad.
on that one.
Oh, no doubt that you got
If they'd
the
have
number one
taken
pick.
C.J. Stroud, and as they were saying, C.J. Stroud could instantly be better in Carolina than Bryce Young was, then this doesn't look like the sweet, savvy move that it once was, or that it is now. It doesn't look as good. If Carolina had given you the 7th pick in this draft, it wouldn't look as great. It'd still be good, but it wouldn't look as great. And Carolina wouldn't be looked at as morons for doing what they did.
Well, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
There you go. Chicago Bears, I'm right there with you. Good offseason for them. Green Bay Packers. I went dual running backs with A.J. Dillon and Josh Jacobs. I went and got 2 thumpers after eschewing Aaron Jones. And then what? Keyshawn Nixon and Xavier McKinney, how'd you feel about those deals in the secondary?
I like the Keyshawn Nixon deal because he's not just he's not just an elite return guy. He actually showed to be a serviceable piece defensively. I have a very simple problem with Green Bay. I think your coach is fine. I think your franchise structure is elite. I keep coming back to your quarterback. He's going to get expensive. And I understand he was good last year. I haven't done a full 180 on him. All I ever said was he is better than I ever thought he would be. I still never said I thought he was great. And I have a funny feeling you're about to pay him like he's great. And I'm afraid that goes poorly. And as soon as I saw the Josh Jacobs deal, that's what terrified me. I don't like paying running backs ever. I really don't like paying running backs when they've been hurt. Almost constantly. And that's why when you said that about Saquon Barkley, okay. You got 2 $12-ish million deals on running backs that seem to be hurt all the time. But the lines are better here. I don't disagree with you. It wasn't always the line that was getting these guys hurt. Now you've paid them. Now you're committed. And is Josh Jacobs legitimately, as a running back, better than Aaron Jones?
No.
I would say yes, but it's close because Aaron Jones is so inconsistent. And I just don't understand the build.
But is that Aaron Jones's fault? I mean, we hammered LaFleur for that for years of getting away from Aaron Jones.
And DNA Tooth Podcast, one of the things I've always appreciated about him is he can be honest about his team. The defense is going to be god-awful. That's his comment. And I'm not going to lie to you, I don't disagree with you. I feel like you've thrown a lot of things against the wall to see what sticks. But now you have these big, gigantic holes, and I'm not really sure how you're going to fill them. And with Jordan Love, I think you have to prop him up. That's not a shot. You have to prop up a lot of quarterbacks. But the build doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So we're going to have 2 thumper running backs. Sweet. If this was 1974, I would feel so good about that, but it's not, and I don't.
So your overall grade for them?
I'm going to go C-. You did add a really good player. I do like the Keyshawn Nixon deal. I just don't really get it. I don't get where you're going. This is a team that never spends in free agency, and then when you do, you spend on a running back. That's hard for me to wrap my head around.
Let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings. We know you love the Sam Darnold move. They got Aaron Jones from the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, hold on. We forgot to mention Xavier McKinney with the Packers, which I thought was a gross overpay. Safeties and running backs. The safety is the running back of the defense. Unless it's just an absolute dog, I'm out. And I don't think Xavier McKinney has ever been a $17 million safety. Sorry, go ahead.
All right.
We forgot a player. I had.
Sorry. Minnesota. Sam Darnold, Aaron Jones, Quessenberry, Van Ginkel. This is a lot of meh for me.
I reserve the right to not give Minnesota a grade until after the draft. If you start Sam Darnold next year, I'll give you a B+. If you reach on J.J. McCarthy, F minus.
Okay.
This team is not good enough to build a quarterback like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to try to use that second round pick on Bo Nix, okay, I don't love it, but I get it. If you want to try to trade up to 3 and get Drake May, okay, I get it. If you sit at 11, which I fully believe was not your intention when you made that deal with Houston, and wind up with McCarthy or Penix or Nix at that spot, I'm out. The gross reach.
The one move that I did celebrate was the deal that they gave to Jonathan Gernard.
I get it. It's a lot of money for a position that I've never seen him play. Because this is a different scheme than what they play in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Houston has that same New York Jets rotational defensive line. You are the pass rusher now. I've seen you be that guy for 1 year, and it was with Will Anderson on the other side. That scares me. I like Van Ginkel. I actually like that deal. And I like the fact you got Aaron Jones.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this team is really bad. Really, really bad. And you go Sam Darnold for a year, you add 2 pieces in the draft, you try to build out the roster. Because that's where they fall apart for me. This is a bottom 5 in the NFL talent roster. And you're going to throw J.J. McCarthy into that? Mm-hmm. Good luck with that.
All right, so grade?
Start Darnold, I'll go B+. Because you're adding the talent with 2 first-round picks. If you trade up for Drake May, I'll go B+. If you stick at 11 and take J.J. McCarthy, it's a dead failure. It is the worst offseason in the NFL.
All right, and then the Detroit Lions. They added DPJ, so it's already a home run. Donovan Peoples-Jones can change this franchise. No, the moves that they made, seriously. I like them adding Carlton Davis in the secondary. Just gives them another body to throw out there.
I agree.
DJ Reader, to me, is a big pickup on the defensive line. Run stuffer. Bringing Graham Glasgow back.
I like Amik Robertson, too.
Yep.
I like the 1 year on Marcus Davenport, a prove-it deal.
Not a bad deal.
I don't know that he can be what we've always wanted him to be, but I think he can be a decent situational rusher.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit's a B+ for me.
Yep.
I like a lot of what they've done, and that is that offseason screams, we're a contender, we know it, and we're going to go get what we have to get, even if we have to overpay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And they were already at the top of the list of potential, I guess we're talking, since it's March Madness time, possible bracket busters in the NFL playoffs. They just got stronger.
They're my one in the NFC right now. If I was betting on any team in the NFC, it would be the Detroit Lions because I know exactly what they are.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We'll do AFC free agency grades coming up on tomorrow's program, so join us right back here on ESPN Asheville at noon.
Doug Gottlieb here. March is here. That means Chick Days, planting your garden, and college basketball. Just like in basketball, every team needs its MVP. When it comes to team members who go above and beyond, Tractor Supply has the winning lineup. Our home team at Tractor Supply is excited to support your hometown. We're proud to be part of the excitement of college basketball tournament season, and our home team looks forward to serving your hometown. Because every day is game day at Tractor Supply.
When you wake up well-rested on a great mattress, everything becomes clear.
Wow, I'm a morning person.
Things you missed when you were tired finally reveal themselves.
I should not use a chatbot to write my wedding vows.
This is your official invite to Mattress Firm's Friends and Family Sale. Save up to $700 with the Friends and Family discount. Plus, get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. See a lower price? We'll match it. The right mattress matters. We'll find yours. Restrictions apply. See store website for details.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $10 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
The Sportsocracy.
Hey, I go to church, just not during televised sporting events.
Worry less about spring cleaning and call Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Mention ESPN Asheville, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for $129 plus a free hallway. Book online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
The most common form of treatment for the arthritic joints is normally cortisone injections and gel shots and over-the-counter medications. And most patients have tried all of that and are still in pain.
Every day, Dr. Aaron Wolkoff, a QC Kinetics medical director, meets patients who have exhausted every method to get relief. They've been told surgery is their only option.
They want to stay away from that path, and they come to us almost as the last hope. So we're using our own body's properties to help manage pain, to help slow arthritis down, keep the patients active with no downtime, and getting back to what they enjoy doing. I mean, I love what I do.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments from our board-certified providers help heal and restore aching joints. No surgery, harmful drugs, or downtime. Call for your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517.